with said barbecue. Maybe it was all the COVID you got.
Well, if I got it, then I'm glad because I'm 8 days in and I'm fine.
See?
Asymptomatic, as they would say.
Asymptomatic, yep. Just like most of the world is. That's why we got to wear masks, because everyone's asymptomatic. The entire planet is asymptomatic.
Everyone.
That's
we're live.
We are, man.
Hi, everybody.
We're just live. I'm testing some things out. I'm trying to see. Like, it went live on YouTube. Is it live on Trovo is my big question, because it looks like
it is, because I'm watching.
I see us on Trovo. Okay, good, because according to OBS, we're not live on Trovo, and that is worrisome. I don't know why it says that. Maybe I should just close that then if that's not even accurate information, because that would give me more room for other shit. Because, yeah, right now we're tri-casting. We're currently...
We're adjusting cameras.
Yeah.
Gino's here.
Gino's already here. I have the Twitch chat open just in case. See what's going on there.
Are you drinking yet?
Not. I'm having coffee. Vacation starts Thursday night, so I'll probably be drinking Thursday. You're drinking.
I'm drinking this tonight.
Wow, that's why you're vegan. You're drinking fucking.
Le Boulet.
Is that whiskey? The whiskiest of all the whiskeys.
Bullet.
This is a good match.
Yeah, somebody tried to convince me it's Boulet.
Boulet.
Like it's a fucking American whiskey. You're telling me it's Boulet?
Yeah, I don't think that any self-respecting American would ever call their
I
alcohol.
had to show him a video of the founder saying the name.
I don't think any. Yeah. Well, Boulet.
I don't think he says it wrong. Okay.
Yeah, I highly doubt that anyone would ever call it Boulet. Oh, I don't have the sound alerts thing open.
Well, it's spelled Bulleit.
I didn't set up half the shit I was supposed to set up.
Oh, no.
This is tricky. This is a mess. Okay. Well, we got time. We're just playing around. I'm still watching NXT in the corner here. It's 1-1. We're having ourselves...
1-1?
Yeah, it's a 2 out of 3 falls match.
Oh.
But the champion lost the first fall, which I kind of hate. Like, I kind of don't like when the champion loses the first fall, because now, if this was a regular, everyday, run-of-the-mill match, he would not be the champion anymore. Like, he lost it.
Yeah.
He lost immediately. Like, oh, weird. I mean, he didn't lose immediately. He lost like 10 minutes in, but it's always weird when the champion takes the first fall, because now the challenger can go, I would have won the match if it was a regular match, so this doesn't settle anything.
Exactly.
Settles nothing.
This proves nothing.
You don't know where I've been.
Where is he?
There we go. Send a live alert. Sent that out. Jake Shreds all day's here. How come I don't see that in this chat? Or do I? I do see it. Okay, good. Let's close this one then.
Gosh darn it. My microphone software always closes as soon as I start using it.
Go on, catch the buzz, feel the sting.
Oh, thank you so much, Jake Shreds all day. And then I didn't even see what just happened there, even though it just happened on my screen. I assume it was an elixir bomb. It had to be an elixir bomb. What else would it be? Where did my Twitch chat go? Did I close that one? I'm playing around with so many windows. Who knows what's happening? Except I forgot to add.
Jared Camacho joined the chat.
Oh, look at everyone who's coming in. Look at all the people here. Let's add the Twitch chat one. I made it really small.
I mean, Matty Spice is here, but nobody cares.
I love Matty Spice. He's top one.
He's your mod. I'm sorry.
He's top one. And then Dakota Poland just said, whoa, Vleeties back on Twitch. And that's true. I am on Twitch right now.
Matty Spice04 says, Geezy, fuck you.
It says, Geezy, fuck you. That's to you. That's at you.
No, it says Geezy, fuck you. Okay?
That's true. It wasn't even towards you then, right?
No. So are you responding to Twitch, or should I stay in the Trovo chat?
Stay in the Trovo, but I'm just saying there's some people on Twitch that, like, I'm being gifted subs and stuff. Oh, who won? I missed it. Oh, Kushita's celebrating. He must have won the match. We can close it.
How do you feel about all these retro T-shirts at Target?
Which
one? You
one?
can get like MTV T-shirts and Kodak T-shirts and Polaroid.
I'm for it.
They're like 90s. They're pretty sick.
I'm okay. Target, though, if to be honest, as a big man, I hate Target.
Oh, their sizes are small.
Their sizes are stupid. Like, I'm not
slim fit.
I'm not hipster enough to shop at Target. Like, I really do need. You need to be ready to buy you got to be ready to wear slim fit when you shop at Target. And like the last few times I've just been burned. I've just been burned by going there. Like, why do I keep trying to buy clothes here? And then even like I'll try them on and I go, you know what? This actually isn't too bad. And then I should have fucking set this up before we started. Regenerate URL, drag and drop this into OBS. Let's do that just in case somebody does play a sound alert. You drag this, automatically link. Perfect. Yeah, so it's just one of those things where like every time I go there, I always like am disappointed when I buy clothes because they'll have a cool shirt or something that I'm like, oh, this is great. And then when I get home or when I wash it once, suddenly I realize that I've made some of the largest mistakes in my life. Okay, sound alerts are up.
Well, I made the mistake of I went shopping at Marshall's and I got some fucking deals. I'll tell you what, I got some Under Armour polos for like $20 each, probably like 90 at the outlet. And then I bought this legit button-up short sleeve shirt for like $15. I'm 99% sure it was a kids XL, not
that dude. I ordered
XL.
a John Cena Rise Above Hate shirt. I was so excited. I didn't get it from WWE shop. I got it from some wrestling superstore website, and I was like, oh, that sounds kind of legit. Like it's not WWE shop, but at least it's like this. Also, they sell a ton of wrestling merch, so they got to be semi legit, right? And I get this shirt. It says that it's a 2X. I was all pumped up to wear it, and I'm like, they don't make kids 2XLs, do they? Because that's what this felt like. I put it on, and it was snug. I was like, this is the smallest fucking 2X I have ever felt in my life. There's no way this is a human 2X. So let's get into it, Zach. I don't think we need to give anyone any time to gather. I think everybody's got it. Everybody who is somebody is going to be here tonight. Because we got plenty to talk about, Zach. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for downloading the latest edition of Vleeties. That's the podcast people that I'm talking to. I am talking to Zach right now. Zach, what's Geezy? We're live. How are you, my friend?
We are live. I'm doing good. It's fucking Tuesday. It's been a long week already. But let's talk about football because that'll probably take my mind off it.
Oh, my gosh. So much football to talk about. So much sad football right at the top. But before we get into all that, if you're listening on the podcast, we are live right now. TriCast. Return to the TriCast. Twitch.tv/RealVleeties. trovo.live/Vleeties. YouTube.com/RyanVanVleet. And again, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, podcast1.com, like pretty much all the fun places to get your podcast, except the Amazon Music app. I have no idea how to get on there. I've sent emails. I don't know why they won't accept my RSS feed, much like Trovo hasn't accepted my they have not approved my Elixir spell. It's been like 3 days, maybe because I have AOC as the GIF. You have to include a GIF, so of course I need to have the darling Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as the GIF where she's like dancing in the hallway. Classic Vleeties GIF. But we're here live right now, and yeah, I wanted to talk football. I have so much wrestling on the back end. So for those who are here for wrestling, do not fret. In an hour, I have so much wrestling. We're probably going to go to bed at 1 tonight. Like, it's going to be one of those nights where I just have so much. The Tuesday shows are too much. Like, I really should spread some of this shit out. But SmackDown happens on Friday. It's already Tuesday. I'm already late passing on it as it is. Like, if anything, I should just do like another live thing on Saturdays to recap some of the SmackDown that I watch, and 205 Live, and Main Event. But since I haven't been live anywhere, I haven't recorded anything since last Thursday, this is the time to talk about that shit. So do not worry, anybody. I will get to all of that eventually. But Zach, behind us right now, the legendary quarterback for the University of Hawaii, Colt Brennan, 37 years old. He was found dead, Zach. So Colt Brennan, a unique story. He got kicked out of his first college. I don't know if he had some sexual allegations or something, but he's always been kind of the problem child. But he gets to the University of Hawaii and balls out. Now, this guy was outstanding. I had a number 14 University of Hawaii jersey when we were in, I think, middle school or high school when Timmy Chang was the quarterback. And I remember I would stay up to the best part of the West Coast, and one thing I do miss about the West Coast is college football, where you wake up, college football's on. And it literally is on until midnight, because I would stay up to watch the Hawaii games. I would watch Hawaii versus Boise State against Louisiana Tech. Wherever I could watch any sort of Hawaii, college football was an all-day event. and it still is here in Texas. I mean, I get up and there's games on already, and you know, it goes late. Like the best part for us is like my wife's a UCLA fan. Those games come on at like 8 o'clock, so we still have football pretty much the entire day. So, but the West Coast, Hawaii was our main event of the evening. It came on pretty late at night. I think it was 10 p.m. The games would come on Fox Sports Net or Fox Sports West, whichever channel got it. And I would stay up late to watch Timmy Chang, and then after Timmy Chang, it was Colt Brennan. And this guy has, like, what, all of the records at the University of Hawaii? Like, he's just, when you look at college football and you look at the records, this guy is up there in so many different categories because he was one of the best quarterbacks. I mean, he is the best quarterback in Hawaii history. I'm saying it, hands down, easily the best quarterback in Hawaii history. And Zach, gone way too soon. Colt Brennan. And this is a guy who, he made it to the NFL, and I was already like, whoa, he did it. Like, nobody thought he would even get drafted. I don't think he was drafted, but I do think he was undrafted free agent going to, I think he went to the Redskins. And I was at a Redskins game when he was there. He was wearing sweatpants though, so I was like, oh, he's not playing today. He's not even dressed for this one. I get to watch Jason Campbell or one of their other quarterbacks that didn't really work out. But Colt Brennan, you raised me in a way that you don't even understand. Amazing story, amazing quarterback. Rest in peace, Colt Brennan. Zach, this is a weird one for me, man. Like Tyler Perry, I'm never on social media, and our good friend Tyler Perry messaged me like. He sent me a DM on Twitter, which I never even get those. And I open it. And it was like the saddest thing. Colt Brennan died.
Man, I remember you were a huge Hawaii fan for I don't know what reason. Now your dad he still lives there, right?
Yeah, he's there. So he has a reason. Yeah, he has a reason.
Living the life, brah.
Yeah, he has a reason to root for Hawaii. I still root for Hawaii. A lot of it is like, you know, and so I live in Texas. College football is unique in here in Texas because it actually matters here. where we're from, it's not like that big of a like USC and UCLA obviously pretty big deals, but there's not this like pride of like, oh, I went to USC, so I love the Trojans. Like you go to, I think Evan Williams told the great story of going to a UCLA game, and all the nerds behind him are asking like, so like, what's second down mean? You know, like Evan had to like listen to this shit happening at a UCLA game in the student section. He's like, "What the fuck is this?" So, kind of the same deal, or kind of like that deal in California, where sure, everyone who goes to like people, the USC fans aren't actually going to USC. The UCLA fans aren't actually going to UCLA. Those are just students who kind of, oh, they have a football team here. This is fun. But here in the South. I mean, these people, there are, like, every house you drive by, there's either an OSU flag, a Baylor flag, an Oklahoma flag, TCU. It's every team here. The Hook'em, the University of Texas.
Oh, my Lord.
What happened? What did we do?
Do you know what tuition is up to at USC?
Oh, it's got to be $50K a semester, right? I mean, it's...
Maybe add 20% to that.
Oh my goodness! Like
60,446.
I can't imagine
semester?
even going to any of these schools, and that's why when I watch like the college admission scandal, I'm like, good, fuck it, let these people go to college then. Like,
waste all your money.
I'm not dealing with that. These kids who are crying, oh, I didn't get into Harvard. That's good. You just saved a lot of money. Like you're gonna get the same degree anyway. Has no one seen Good Will Hunting? Didn't he prove you don't need to go to college? You could have got
exactly.
It's all about your education in the end, and the education he got was better than anything that he would have got from going to Harvard. You know,
somebody's just telling you shit out of a book that you can buy anyway.
Yeah, $1.23 in late charges from the public library. Like, so there are ways. It never made sense to me why people were like stressing like, if I don't get into USC, my life is literally over. Like people have that mindset where it's like, no, like. You're gonna be okay. Trust me on that. So here in the South, yeah, obviously everybody's all about whatever school they went to or whatever school they were, you know, like whatever school they grew up kind of. Oh, my family is all about Baylor, or oh, my family is all about.
Maddie Spice 04 says Juju went to USC and look at his life.
Juju Smith-Schuster. Thank you, Maddie Spice. Juju Smith-Schuster went to USC, and look at him. He's breaking the stereotype for shitty receivers to come out of USC. He's the best receiver in Pittsburgh history. So it's really important that he goes to the NFL and does great things. And yeah, when you look at so Hawaii for me, when I was younger, it was almost extra hipster. Everybody likes SC, everybody likes UCLA, everybody likes Florida, or one person I know likes Florida. But it really was because I liked Hawaii because I was kind of it was easy to like Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush and Carson Palmer and John David Booty and all these USC. It was easy to like USC because they were always unbeatable and untouchable. It was easy to like UCLA because of their lineage and their history. For me, it was more fun to root for me. It's the same reason I root for the Raiders. It's more fun to root for the shitty teams. I could easily just convince myself, you know what? I love these Buccaneers. But it's not fun to root for. I don't want to root for the greatest ever. I don't like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I like The Rock. I didn't want to like. My favorite teams are never the most. I'm an Angels fan. All right,
We're complete opposites.
I love me some punishment. Yeah, I know.
Stone Cold #1, Patriots.
See,
Gators fan when Tebow was there. That's when I became a Gators fan.
That's what I mean. I like to be punished. I want to earn it.
I was watching Gators lacrosse, women's lacrosse this weekend because they're ranked --
Hey, well, the University of Hawaii,
I was like,
men's volleyball team.
If we're going to watch women's lacrosse, let's watch the #1 team.
Better be the greatest teams.
They're winning 7-0.
Men's volleyball team for the University of Hawaii. National champions, baby. Clap it up. I mean, look, they win at things. I mean, obviously, if you're going to play beach volleyball or even indoor volleyball, you might as well go to the beach, brother. You might as well go to Hawaii. I think it was Ricky Williams, great University of Texas alum. Also smoked a lot of weed. 10,000-yard rusher, great man. He was the one. I think he said, if you want to be a movie star, you go to USC. You want to surf, you go to Hawaii. You want to play football, you come to Austin, Texas. That was a Ricky Williams line. So here in the South, I'm a USC fan because I'm from Southern California. Everybody here talks shit about USC, and they don't respect any Pac-12 football at all. This is Big 12 or this is SEC country. There's even a big contingent of University of Iowa fans. So Big 10 gets a lot of respect out here. The Pac-12 is like the minor leagues to everybody. Oh, that's cute. I remember them. Remember they lost. The big thing is, even if people don't like Vince Young and the Longhorns, remember that one game where the Longhorns beat the Trojans that nobody could beat. It's yes, I watched it. I remember.
I remember where I was when that happened.
I was at Cheryl's house. I think everybody knows where they were. I was at Cheryl's house. We were in a room where it had 2 TVs, right? The adults were in the living room. I was in this room where you could hear everything happening in the living room, and the television feed must have been 5 seconds slower. So you would hear this amazing pop from the living room, yeah, and then you knew something good for SC happened, and then you'd hear big, oh no, and you knew something for the Longhorns happened. So growing up in Southern California, yeah, the Trojans kind of stuck with me, and I got really annoyed when the Trojans got their bowl ban. And this, I will forever sing the stories of how much I hate, capital H, the Oregon Ducks. I think the Oregon Ducks are the dumbest.
Hate with an 8.
I hate these fucking Ducks. And look, if you like the Oregon Ducks, that's fine. I don't dislike you. I dislike the Oregon Ducks. And I dislike everyone who was a USC fan, who was a UCLA fan, or who was a San Diego State fan, whatever. If you had a favorite team in Southern California and suddenly there were bowl bans on SC, UCLA sucked, and now I see you show up at our high school wearing an Oregon shirt, let's settle down a little bit. Nobody would have liked the Oregon Ducks had there not been an unnecessary bowl ban on USC because they bought Reggie Bush's mom a house. Oh, boo-hoo. Every school's doing shit like this. Kids are getting money all the time. Even watching Last Chance U, and they're like, oh, I get a $1,600 tuition check. And they're allowed to do whatever they want with it. So let's stop pretending, yeah, hey, this is for food and this is for Xbox games. But God forbid we buy somebody a house who can't pay their rent. So, yeah. College football is ridiculous, but so when I live in Texas, I'm a big SC fan. Still root for Hawaii. I still got Hawaii swag. I got a Hawaii sweater, Hawaii hat. I have 30 hats. I have 30 hats, Zach. I don't know if I've ever told you this. So,
Howard, could you ever be sad?
I wanted to buy more hats. I almost bought a Penguins hat for Matty Spice because I was just as a gimmick. Who am I rooting for in the NHL playoffs this year? Penguins, baby.
I bought 4 golf hats in the last week.
Look at you, Mr. Titleist.
Callaway hat.
I'm Mr. Callaway already. I I think I have a Callaway hat in there. It's so sweated out. I don't golf, but it's the perfect hat to wear when you're sweating. Like,
that's why I only buy black hats.
Yeah, golf is perfect for sweating hats. So rest in peace, Colt Brennan. Favorite player in University of Hawaii history, probably in college football history. Like, the fact that he didn't make it in the NFL, like, makes me almost like I have this weird attachment to him, because when I watch college football, you're obviously waiting for these people to turn pro and do amazing things in the pros. Colt Brennan never did that. Like, his prime was in college when I was watching it, and I got to live that history with him. So, Colt, you're going to be missed by me. It's unfortunate that it never worked out for you in the NFL, or in, I think you even played in some of the other leagues, like the American.
Or in life.
Yeah, or life didn't work out for you, Colt. 37 years young. Way too early to go. Matty Spicer says he loves me because I almost bought a Penguins hat. I was looking at Stars hats, but Zach, I have this green screen behind me. I can't buy any Stars merch because they have green in their logo. So the Penguins made way more sense to buy some of their merch. Plus, the city of Pittsburgh, much respect that they're the only city in the fucking world that coordinated all their colors. I say that all the time. I am so frustrated that, I mean, we're from LA where you can wear purple and gold and be a Laker fan, but you can't show up to that. You know, if I'm wearing purple and gold and I go to an Angels game, it doesn't make sense. There's no cohesiveness there. And I remember, and the Perry brothers will always try and put this on me, but if I'm an Angels fan, that means I must be a Clippers fan. And like that's their science, that's their math, was like, no, you can't. You have to like the Dodgers if you like the Lakers. I was like, no, I like the Angels and I like the Lakers. No human being alive likes the Clippers. I've met one Clipper fan who was like a legit Clipper fan, and he was from Europe. So there's nobody from Los Angeles that's hankering for the red, white, and blue team. Do you know any Clippers fans, like, willingly, Zach?
Not that were Clippers fans before Kawhi got there, no. I don't know of any, but I will agree with your Pittsburgh. I will buy a Pittsburgh Pirates hat.
Oh, they have the best
Their
hats.
shit slaps.
Even just the P.
Yeah.
We're on the same page. We're so on the same page with these Pittsburgh guys. Even the P is such a cool hat. The black hat with the yellow P.
I mean, Chief Wahoo is number one, but beyond that,
dude,
Pittsburgh slaps.
The cancel culture sucks because I can't believe.
I just saw I was just at a sports store, like one of those Sports Edge where they just like resell sports shit, and they had Chief Wahoo hats everywhere.
Well, see, that's
Utah,
the thing. Baseball fans want Chief Wahoo. It's all these fucking people that don't watch baseball, but they're all about making change and making an impact. So to them, it's always like, we got to find. So Bill Burr says it perfectly, like the people that are professionally outraged. Like there's always going to be those people that are upset about something. So in this circumstance, we got to get rid of that Chief Wahoo. It's offensive. His head is red. Like that's their big, we got to get rid of Chief Wahoo. So wherever they're coming from, it's not, nobody else cares. It's you. And I don't know why Major League Baseball caves into all this shit. It's not like those people are the ones watching the games. Like, you want us to still watch the games. Like, people who like baseball are going to continue to like baseball.
The people who like baseball are old white guys. That's the problem. And they're not getting new fans.
Yeah, and by, I don't know, just by tarnishing the history. I think Candace Owens says it the best, where she says, like, the leftists are so focused on rewriting history, they don't give a fuck about the future. And like that's kind of what's happening with the world, is like we're so worried about getting rid of some of the songs from Dumbo that nobody cares that there's an oil shortage, nobody cares that gas prices continue to go up, nobody cares that Asian hate crimes are on the rise. Like nobody, like all of these things that are happening in the present day are really important, really big deals. And meanwhile, people are trying to tell you not to use plastic straws at restaurants. Which, by the way,
people can't buy gas right now.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I've stopped driving for work in a lot of ways. Like, I do not go on as many sales calls because gas is $1 more than it was when I started this job. So, like, it's really changed in my sales days, because it really went from, okay, I only spend, 30 or 40 on gas a week. Now I'm spending 60, 70, and I'm not being compensated the same amount. I'm not being compensated with the turn of the economy, with the increase in gas prices. So it really is like nobody else is really looking at that. They're too busy trying to go back and they want to get rid of Chief Wahoo. They don't really care about all these other issues. They're like, well, at least Chief Wahoo's gone. Like, at least Trump's not on Twitter. Like, all these, like, useless things that people are focusing on. Meanwhile, there's all these other issues. Zach, Tim Tebow's back, baby.
Timothy
Tebow is going to the what's his team he's going to? He's going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Urban Meyer reportedly bought a house next to Tim Tebow. Now, I didn't know that.
Look at that man.
He bought a house next to Tim Tebow. Super cool. Like, super random, but super cool. And apparently...
they're best buds already.
Maddie Spice 04 says, fuck this guy.
Maddie Spice is not on board the Tebow train.
I wonder why.
I don't think it has anything to do with a certain playoff performance, courtesy of our good friend Timothy. What an
January 8th, 2012, the night before my daughter was born. I remember the date.
There is a weird... Oh, it's on my screen. Okay, I was like trying to... There's this weird line on the screen right now, and I'm like, where is that even coming from?
I think it's the edge of your green
It's
screen.
the very edge of my green screen. I was like looking at it. I minimized every other thing, and I was like, it's not going away. It's just not going to go away. Like, for some reason, I'm forever...
It's here to stay, baby.
Yeah, like, I think I just got rid of it. Let me see. Nope, still there. I might have cropped the wrong side. But either way, yes, people who are listening on the podcast, we're here live on Trovo, and sometimes I try and fix things right in the middle of the stream. And I know that's not what you're supposed to do, but
hey, Crisscross 202 just joined the channel.
Look at Crisscross 202. Welcome.
Wasn't that your username on AAM?
Oh my gosh, I used to be Crisscross 203, so I don't know why he's 202. He must be from Washington D.C. is my assumption. But Tim Tebow joining the Jaguars as a tight end. Now, I was excited for this because in my head, I don't just assume they're getting Tim Tebow to play. Like, I know he's going to play, but he's also like a player coach. He can really help Trevor Lawrence like navigate through the NFL as, you know, a hot player out of college. Crisscross just cast 4 stay safe spells here on Trovo. Thank you so much, Crisscross. Much appreciated. We are definitely staying safe. I can't wait till my Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez spell gets approved by Trovo. I thought Trovo, maybe because Trovo's like the Republican one, they're kind of confused why someone's doing an AOC gif. Maddie Spice just cast a hydrate. Zach, immediate reaction.
Wait, when you cast an AOC, does it redistribute the mana for all the users so that everybody has the same amount?
If it does the mana, I'm fine with that. Don't touch my elixir. Elixir is the one that can be converted into money. So the elixir turns into cash, which I think AOC would come after that one, if anything. Like, that would be her main, like, hey.
Tax the rich.
And she's probably not happy about Tim Tebow collaborating with Urban Meyer, 2 rich white men. And this is such the trope. White man comes to save the day. Did you hear that Doctor Strange got cut off of WandaVision because they didn't want to do the trope of white man saves the day?
I did not hear that, but they just... Vision's not a white man because he wears red makeup? Or
it made me not watch episode 3 of WandaVision. I was like, whatever. Fuck this Disney bullshit. I'm more and more getting over
You're
Disney.
going to be lost in the movies coming up.
I might not even see them. I might not even see these movies. If a white man can't be in it because, we don't want that trope, then it's okay, fine. Then you don't need white people to watch it. If white people are the problem, you're right. I'll go do something else. That's fine. I'll watch Tim Tebow go play tight end. So Tim Tebow's trying to play tight end for these Jacksonville Jaguars. How come? Why now? Because this is a guy that they had told coming out of college, you need to learn how to play tight end. You need to learn how to play a different position. Here we are. I mean, years removed from that draft. How come now, Zach? What changed?
I think it's the perfect storm, man. I mean, if anybody is going to talk him back into it, it's Urban Meyer. It's in Florida. And who the fuck is the Jaguars tight end? Is he even going to play?
They don't have, like, one. They have that O'Shaughnessy guy that was the '1 pick up and drop on the fantasy waiver wire throughout all last season. Like, he must have been on everyone's team last year, I'm convinced. Everybody would have him, drop him, have him, drop him. Is he going to play? I don't know. Like, the Jaguars last year were fantasy hell. Like, you didn't know who to pick up, what week someone was going to play. It was just a disaster. Like, I think I even had I had DJ Chark in a few leagues, and then that Keelan Cole guy showed up and actually played pretty well. Who knows what's going on in Jacksonville? So what I'm hoping is Trevor Lawrence shows up, and now he's got a veteran Tim Tebow, who, yes, hasn't been in the league in many years. What has it been, 7 years, 8 years?
I think so.
And
he's a winner, though.
He's a winner. We've seen him win. He made it to AAA in baseball, by the way. Like, that is a huge accomplishment for someone who took many years off to go play football. So, like, everyone who talks about, oh, he failed at baseball, it's AAA isn't failing at baseball.
Did they play AAA baseball?
Well, and he made the main roster like it's WWE. He made the Mets spring training roster, so he was supposed to have a shot to go to the big leagues, and then he retired. So, Urban Meyer coming to the Jags. Tim Tebow, by the way, I remember even when he left New England, the Jaguars were supposed to sign him because remember they would show the tarp. They would show like the tarped off seats at Jaguar Stadium, and that was like, if you bring Tim Tebow, we'll take off these tarps. And like fans were like convinced, like, if we get this guy, we can sell out this stadium. This is going to be great. We need Tim Tebow. And unfortunately, they didn't get him then. They decided to go with Blake Bortles, and that worked for one season, I think. They made it to the AFC Championship game, and then they lost. But, you know, they had opportunities, so they should have got Tim Tebow a long time ago. This does feel like it's too late, but I'm okay with this move. I'm excited for it. A lot of people were like, this is silly. And then the new people, the same people that want to get rid of Chief Wahoo Zach, oh, so Tim Tebow could get a job, but Colin Kaepernick can't? Isn't there such a huge difference between their dismissals from the league?
Is Colin Kaepernick going to play fucking tight end? Tebow couldn't get a fucking job until he switched to tight end.
Is there another position Kaepernick might switch to? And you know what? Can we stop pretending that it's not at all Kaepernick's fault? This is a guy who the Broncos had a conversation with him when he was leaving San Francisco, and he wanted QB1 money. He wanted to be paid like Russell Wilson because he had those years where he played as good as or better than Russell Wilson. So he's like, no, I'm still that good. It's like, no, we just watched you lose your job to Blaine Gabbert. We watched you lose your job to Blaine Gabbert, and you want us to pay you 5 times as much as Blaine Gabbert? Like, it didn't make sense.
But he was in a Super Bowl, Vleeties.
He made it to a Super Bowl.
He only lost because the power went out.
If the power, and if their special teams didn't give up that Jacoby Jones kickoff return, who knows? Like, I love games like that where there's 100 things that matter, and then it's like, oh, the power went out though.
That's ridiculous. Like,
yeah,
I would say that if you just the middle of the game. How long was it out?
Oh, it was like 30 minutes.
A half hour?
Yeah, it was like a half hour, 30 minutes. Because I remember I was playing pool during the halftime show. I was with my friend Matt Stoltz. We went to his girlfriend's like family's lake house or some shit. It wasn't bad.
Sick.
It was a cool setup. I was kind of mad that day because every Super Bowl I'd watch it with our good friend Jason, and Jason decided, no, I have a girlfriend now and I don't hang out with Vleeties anymore. So,
well, I mean, they got married, right?
No, this was his other girlfriend.
Oh.
So, yeah,
Sorry.
She hated me, yeah. So I had to go to this random house to go watch this
What's
game.
her initials?
BS. Her name is, BS. Yeah. So they went to her. That's not a joke, anybody. Her initials are BS. But, yeah, it was just odd. Like, I go to this house. Everyone there's a Niner fan. And I hate the Niners because 4 years before Harbaugh, there was no such thing as a 49er fan in Southern California. Like, it really was like Joe Montana, Steve Young. And then I would ask people, okay, who was the quarterback after Steve Young? Crickets. Fucking nobody knew. I was like, no, Jeff Garcia? What am I, a bigger Niner fan than you? Like, it really was like nobody knew. Like, who's your favorite coach, Mike Singletary or what? Like, nobody knew who. That little era between Alex Smith. Well, even Alex Smith had that era where he sucked. Like, people were saying, wow, I can't believe he went above Rodgers. And then, it's still, I mean, you could still say that. But a lot of it is, wow, Alex Smith sucked for like 4 years. What didn't he have? He had 5 different offensive coordinators in the first 5 years of his career. Like, there was no way he was going to make it work. And then he finally gets, a winning team under Harbaugh, gets a concussion. Kaepernick takes the job. And yeah, I mean, I hated the Niners, and I was rooting for Joe Flacco because I was like, how the fuck did this nerd make it to the Super Bowl? Like, so I was rooting for him. And Ray Lewis, obviously. There were other guys on that Baltimore team that I liked. And plus, I wasn't a huge Steelers fan yet. Now I'm a huge Steelers fan. They're my favorite team. I love Juju Smith-Schuster, best player in history. Najee, best draft pick ever. They're going to win the Super Bowl this year, I have a feeling. And the Penguins are going to win the Cup. So this is my Matty Spice show. So And since we have Tim Tebow on the screen, we got to keep him happy. So I don't know. I didn't like that team. I didn't like that.
So wait, you're abandoning Leatherwood already?
No, Alex Leatherwood. I have a feeling. Has an offensive tackle ever won MVP? Did Charles Haley ever get nominated?
I mean, maybe this year.
This is the one. I have a strong feeling. Alex Leatherwood, offensive tackle for the Raiders, slides right in there and just dominates every defensive lineman that comes up against him. Like, look, I know we're in the AFC West, right? So that means he's going to go up against Joey Bosa when they play the Chargers. Joey Bosa is going to be – he might as well bring a chair because he's going to be on his ass the whole game. All right? Pancake City, my friend.
What's the over-under? He's still on the team after training camp.
Oh, well, here's the thing. I think a realistic one, since he was a first-round draft pick, what are – like, yes or no, the Raiders pick up his fifth-year option. Like that, because that's the big thing with the rookies. With the rookies, do they get their fifth-year option? Is this guy a four-and-done guy, or is he getting that magical number 5 year where they actually get paid? That's a good one. Is there a bet line on that? We need to go to Vegas because I would probably.
What position was he drafted?
He was. Oh, where was he? Or
yeah, what number?
Oh, he was like the 17th overall pick. I mean, the Raiders were excited. So many other amazing offensive linemen on the board, and they went with Alex Leatherwood, the kid out of Alabama, because of his size. I mean, he's got the size, so maybe Gruden and Mayock say, you could teach football. You can't teach size.
Oh, my God. He still got paid.
Well, yeah.
At number 17, he got a $7.8 million signing bonus and a $14 million total contract.
Dude, wait for that fifth-year option.
Oh my
like, those
God.
numbers are going to quadruple when he gets to that fifth year. That's the big-ticket item.
Why can't I be 2 feet taller?
Yeah, and like, it really should be. It is one of those things where, like, if you have a big kid, you do need to push them to get, like,
seriously, like, just all you have to do is get drafted. You don't even have to fucking play after that. $8 million signing bonus, you never have to work again.
I'm trying so hard to get Ralph to throw the ball left-handed. Like, just be left-handed. You just need to throw high 80s, and I can get you to the bigs. Like,
just teach him the knuckleball.
We'll figure it out. We can figure it out. Just be left-handed. Coaches will take an unnecessary amount of time investing in you because they're like, well, we need a lefty reliever. Like, it's all you got to do. 1 inning a game. I'm not even trying to get it. Like, you don't even need to be a starter. Like, you don't need to make Garrett Cole money, but you can go make, you can make Ricardo Rincon money. I think that's where people get caught up, is everybody's trying to be Garrett Cole or Clayton Kershaw. We don't
need $100 million. We need like $10 million.
Yeah, we need to get some what's his name? Aaron Seeley's in here, or Aaron Foltz. That's his name. He's left-handed. We got to get some Arthur Rhodes guys in here. Left-handed relievers are important. Okay, so Tim Tebow, happy, glad you're back in the NFL. I would not be surprised, by the way. I always say this: if Kaepernick does get a job, I wouldn't be surprised. I think there are teams that could. If he wants to work out in front of teams without his whole paparazzi there, I think he probably could land a job somewhere. I don't think it's impossible. We just saw the Bears have Nick Foles, Justin Fields, and Andy Dalton. So there's some teams that have an unnecessary amount of quarterbacks that aren't better than Colin Kaepernick. So I could definitely see. I mean, shit.
He's the same age as Tebow.
Exactly. There's still that opportunity. I think a lot of it is on him. I didn't mean to even talk about Kaepernick tonight, but it really is like, it just bothers me that, you want to hire this guy but not Kaepernick? And let's not pretend Tebow wasn't vilified for being Christian. I mean, this guy was chased out of the league because he had a paparazzi too. It's a similar.
He's very anti-abortion.
It's a similar situation to Colin Kaepernick, where they brought an unnecessary media circus with them, and teams didn't want to deal with that. So one guy.
Do you know that story about Tebow?
No, that
why he's anti-abortion?
Why is he anti-abortion?
All the doctors told his parents that they should abort him because he was like a super high-risk pregnancy. He was all fucked up.
Well, and he was in the Philippines.
He was supposed to be aborted, and his parents were like, "No, we're not going to do that."
No, we're fine. Yeah, well,
and look what they got.
Well, and no offense to all of my doctor listeners out there, but it really is a little silly. Some of the things I haven't gotten, I've gotten flu shots before, but sometimes I'll go to the doctor and they're like, "Did you get your flu shot yet?" I'm like, "Nah, not yet. You need to go get it this weekend." Or you need to get it.
I am getting fucking tired of being asked if I've got my COVID vaccine.
See, yeah, it's a private choice. I shouldn't have to tell you shit. You know what? And there was.
You're gonna answer. Did you get your prostate exam this year?
Yeah, what are all these other tests that I should?
Oh, you did. You got a finger up your ass.
Did you get a flu shot? Did you get your COVID vaccine? Did you
get your COVID anal test done?
Did you get your anal swab? Yeah. Did you? Please tell me you're anal swabbed, because that is the only true way to test for COVID.
Came back negative, right?
Zach, I was reading a list today of the highest paid players in the NFL this season. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is at the tippy top of this list. Okay, insane.
You know what all that money gets you?
And that's
Super Bowl loss.
It's gonna get him a Super Bowl loss. And I'm even curious. When I went through this list, I was a little shocked, because obviously my favorite thing when I go through lists like this is you always look for
switching to rhythm takes just 60 seconds.
I don't even know where this is coming from.
Hey,
you'll be
I don't want to switch to rhythm.
Free ads here.
Never have, and I never will. But now that you have my attention, how do I switch to rhythm? What do I do next? This ad's not even on my screen, so they're wasting a lot of time. So either or, I muted their page. So Zach, number one highest paid player in the NFL, quarterback position, Patrick Mahomes, $45 million is his average per year. Now, it says here that his 2021 cap hit, is only $7.4 million. How does that work? Is there a salary cap, and then there's a private fund that they can just give him $30 million?
No, I think it's Jerry Jones made this famous. I think the signing bonus you can prorate over the whole contract. So even though his whole deal was $100 million and whatever $50 million signing bonus, it gets prorated over the whole thing. So it still looks like every year is only not $500,000 for that bonus.
Yeah, it looks like there might have been a $63 million signing bonus that can lessen the cap hit over the years. And it does say 2021 cash. He's going to be getting $22.8 million. So yeah, his salary isn't very much. It's 7.4. Which is only 4% of the team's salary cap, which is that's what the Packers ran into. That was a huge problem for them, was that Rodgers takes up 15% of their salary cap. They don't have enough to pay other guys to put around Rodgers, which is another one of their big issues. But my favorite part of going through this list is teams you don't see on here, Patriots, and I think the Buccaneers might have one person on here, but it's always everyone's always, I want to be the highest paid player. And you notice these highest paid players don't always win Super Bowls. It really turns.
Well, surprisingly, if the Buccaneers are on there, I guarantee you it's Brady.
I guarantee you.
That's why he left the Patriots.
Yeah, he wanted. Well, and even when he goes to make more money, he's not making Mahomes money. He won. No. Brady won the Super Bowl last year, and he probably wasn't even getting paid.
I bet you Tom Brady. How much does Mahomes make?
He makes I don't remember what. Yeah, he had to make.
Or what's
45.
his yearly breakdown?
$45 million per year on average is what he's going to be making.
Brady makes $20 million less a year.
That's what I mean.
Guaranteed.
He makes way less. They can spread that money around. They can get Antonio Brown. They can get Rob Gronkowski. They can get all these Leonard Fournette. All of these guys. They can. Oh, we have extra money. I remember even playing Madden. You would always want to have an extra $40 million just sitting in that cap space for if you do need to sign anybody or if you want to make a trade.
What if Randy Moss wants to come out of retirement?
Yeah, now you have cash. Who do you think? I was kind of shocked by this. I guess I didn't realize he had already signed a big contract. But highest paid running back this season. Who do you think it is?
Highest paid running back?
Yeah, now this one was odd to me because I always think of guys I know
running backs don't get paid shit anymore.
Well, and I thought it would be Ezekiel Elliott because remember he signed his big frickin' deal and everybody was like, damn, can't believe the Cowboys are can't believe they're doing all this shit.
Matty Spice 04 says Najee Harris.
Najee Harris is the highest paid. No, he's not. But Najee Harris is going to tear it up. He's not the highest paid running back. Christian McCaffrey, my friend. I didn't realize
he deserves it. Fuck.
And they make him do a lot, and that makes sense. He's getting paid $16 million on average.
He is the Carolina Panthers,
dude, in so many ways. And I was even wondering why, because Alvin Kamara is $1 million short of the number one spot, and
I do love Kamara.
And then Zeke, most of his. So I guess Zeke's money is different the way it's spread around. So I don't understand how that works. Maybe
that's Jerry Jones. That's what Jerry Jones.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
At.
Yeah, Jerry Jones. I guess because Zeke has an extra year in length, so on average it's shorter. It's less money average per year, but he's still up there with Christian McCaffrey.
More total.
The receivers I was kind of shocked. I mean, it's kind of obvious. DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones. those guys are obviously the highest paid. Are the Falcons getting rid of this Julio Jones guy? Isn't it time? Like, they're going to give this guy so much money, and they're going through a year where they need to shit or get off the pot. Are they going to try and win a Super Bowl this year, or are they going to just admit that they need to rebuild this shit?
They should get rid of both Matty Ice and Julio Jones. I love Julio, but I've had him in fantasy like the last 2 years, and he always does great, but it's just always like I'm always disappointed. Like, he's like always top 5. He'll give you a wide receiver 1 week, maybe once or twice a year now, but then he'll just like he gets hurt. He'll be out a couple weeks, and he's like your number 1 or number 2 pick, and then you're just fucked.
Yeah, there's nothing, and he's never going to live up to what he was doing a few years ago. I mean, he's 32 years old now, so it's obviously going to be a little different.
Just retire, Julio.
Yeah, get out of here.
Look at Megatron.
Let's get Juju Smith-Schuster a new contract. So, yeah, Julio, I would like to see him be traded, obviously. So let him go somewhere else. Let him go to the Buccaneers. Why not?
I'm taking him in the Patriots.
And there's so many rumors about where he might go. Matt Ryan is Falcon for life. I don't think there's any other team that's going to want to take his salary on or take him on. And to think he was the season MVP like what 3 or 4 years ago. Like, it really is strange how fast things can change. This was a shocker. Keenan Allen, number 3rd highest paid receiver in the league. The Chargers go under the radar a lot, and I guess they give a lot of money to Keenan Allen, and that makes sense. You got to keep Justin Herbert needs people to throw to. He also needs to be protected. So that's why in their draft, I think they went linemen. So George Kittle was the tight end. The offensive linemen, no offense to these linemen, but, who cares? Trent Williams, former Redskin. The Lions have the highest paid center. But then when I went to the defense, I think this is where I saw so Miles.
Aaron Donald. It's got to be Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald by far. Yeah, Aaron Donald, but undeservingly so. Joey Bosa gets paid more on average than Aaron Donald, by the way, which I think, are they the same age? How old's Aaron Donald?
No, Joey Bosa's got to be younger.
Yeah, he's 4 years younger. Joey Bosa and Myles Garrett are both making, Myles Garrett's making $25 million a year.
Myles Garrett deserves it.
He's a baller, dude. He's a beast.
He's a fucking monster.
He averages a sack per game. Like, every game he's going to get 1 sack.
And he almost killed a man on the field.
He's that good. But, yeah, I just scrolled through the list just to confirm. There is no New England Patriots. There is no Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And there is no
there's got to be Tampa Bay.
There's none, dude. There's not every position in the NFL.
Tom Brady makes at least $20 million to $25 million a year.
This is the starting lineup of players.
Are you he's not the what?
No, so it's the highest paid. So that's why you get 1 quarterback, 1 running back, 3 receivers. It's like a fantasy lineup.
Oh, I got you.
Got
you.
Yeah, it's. I mean, okay. I don't even think Brady. I can go back to the quarterback side and let's see who else is mentioned. Like, Mahomes has $450 million contract. That's triple the NFL record for total value. Matt Ryan signed a $150 million deal. Russell Wilson signed a $35 million average per year deal. So even those deals are way more than anything Brady's making. I don't think Brady ever gets over 30. So it looks like Matt Ryan, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, these are your highest paid guys.
I guarantee you Brady's 20 to 25. He's like,
sure.
Either 20 or 25. He's like, I just want a round number. At the Patriots, I took probably 10. So, Miami's expensive. I got to buy a fucking house on the water. Give me like 10 million extra. We're good.
Yeah, let me even see. If I just type in 21, because Spotrac or whatever, Spot Rack, I don't even know how to pronounce it. They always have the salaries listed. Okay, here you go. So this is 2021. So there's a new guy entering the frame, which we forgot. Dak Prescott, $40 million a year.
Dak.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, 45. Dak Prescott, 40. Deshaun Watson, 39. Who knows what's going to happen with all that money? Russell Wilson, 35. Aaron Rodgers, 33.5. Jared Goff, 33.5. Jared Goff makes the same amount of money. The same amount of money as Aaron Rodgers. However, Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl, so he almost has as many Super Bowls as Aaron Rodgers. Kirk Cousins 33. That's a little ridiculous, but I mean they were desperate for a quarterback after fucking the Christian Ponder.
He's done well though. He's been consistent.
He's done okay. He always starts off kind of shaky, and everyone goes, "We need to get rid of this Cousins guy." But then they're always in the mix of it at the end of the year, so you can't complain too much.
And then how about that?
Wentz 32.
That hurts.
Matt Ryan 30, but I mean he had that MVP season and earned that contract. Ryan Tannehill comes in at number 10 with 29.5. Did not.
Hey, he's turned that thing around.
He really has, and he did the same thing. He was on a 1-year deal. He played really well, and Tennessee was, okay, what do we do? Do we go with the guy who almost got us to the Super Bowl, or do we try and figure out something else? So they went with Tannehill. I mean, it makes sense. Jimmy G 27.5. Matty Stafford. You notice I'm naming quarterbacks. I'm not saying Thomas Brady yet. Matty Stafford is at 27. Coming in at 13, lucky number 13, Derek Carr, $25 million. And tied for 13 with Derek Carr, Tom Brady. So these are
Thomas Edward Brady.
So Tommy Brady and Derek
Put
Carr.
some respect on his name.
They are the same amount in value, okay? So
which one would you take?
Oh my gosh. I would take 43-year-old Tommy for the same amount of money. Like I like when the Fox Sports put up those things on Instagram like build your team. I would put the $5 or the $25 to get Tom Brady over the 25 to put up Derek Carr. It's shocking.
Okay, so let's go back up the ladder. So Tom Brady's at what? You said 13?
20. Oh yeah, he's the 13th ranked paid quarterback.
Okay, so Matt Stafford, would you take him over Matt Stafford?
I would take Tom Brady over Matty Stafford.
Would you take him over Jimmy G?
I 100% would take him over Jimmy G.
Ryan Tannehill?
Yeah, I'd take him over Ryan Tannehill.
Matt Ryan?
I would take him over Matt Ryan for sure.
Carson Wentz?
Way over. Yeah, definitely. Well, hold on.
Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, I would take him over Kirk.
Jared Goff?
Jared Goff. Why is he up here? I would yes, I would take Tom over Jared Goff.
I agree that the top 5 you can make an argument just because of age.
Sure.
Like Aaron Rodgers, maybe. Russell Wilson, he always balls out. Deshaun might be the one that I'd be like, nah.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like, let's say you want to pick Deshaun. You're spending $14 million more on Deshaun Watson. Like, that's the big hiccup for all.
That's true.
For all of this for me. Is like, when you look, even when I'm playing Madden, my quarterback is never the highest paid player on the team. Like, I don't subscribe to that theory that you need to pour all of your money into one position, because that one position requires 5 guys to block for it. It requires at least 3 guys or 4 guys who can run out and catch a ball from this guy. It requires 1 guy who you can hand the ball off to or can turn into a blocker when you need him. Like, there's so many reasons the quarterback isn't the most important thing happening on that field. Because, like, look at Trent Dilfer won a fucking Super Bowl. Like, if you can build a team that's a good team, you don't need to worry about paying your quarterback all the money. So when you look at the Green Bay Packers and the issues they've had, and Rodgers saying, well, shit, they're not building this team around me. Well, look at what Tom does. Tom gets paid $14 million less than you.
So for $2 million more than Patrick Mahomes, you could sign Tom Brady and DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, and see, for Mahomes to take that big of a contract, I don't know why. I don't know why you would do that, even as Patrick Mahomes. I know a lot of it is like a status symbol, where you can just say,
dude, if you were him, you are happy at the Chiefs. You're making ridiculous amount of money. Dude, I enjoy playing football. I'm gonna go play football, and even if I never work again, like half that money's guaranteed. I don't have to ever do anything in my life.
Sure.
I can just worry about playing football and having fun.
But even so, like, and that's why when I look at Brady with like $25 million a year every year, you look at Patrick Mahomes. How much money does he make from State Farm, from Head and Shoulders? Like, he's got supplemental income. Like, it's not like football's his only source of revenue. So when he's making $45 million and pocketing that, then he's doing State Farm, then he's doing all these commercials. It really is like, okay, you have more money than you'll ever need ever. Now your team can't afford to pay other positions, though. Like, this is a real thing. In a few years, when a Tyreek Hill, when his contract comes ready, and it's like, okay, I want to make money too. I want Mahomes money too. I've been just as good. I've been just as important to this team. And yeah, that's the Chiefs are going to tell him, no, you got to go somewhere else, buddy. Like some guys know, like some receivers know, like, okay, I'm going to sign the team friendly deal. I'll be the one to bite the bullet. I want to play with Rodgers. My name's Randall Cobb. I'm from Kentucky. I don't have a lot going for me, so I'll sign for a lot less than I could probably get if I hit the free agent market. But like not a lot of guys can do that. So that's going to be an issue in the coming years here, where they have this guy who's taking up the large percentage of their team's total salary cap.
Like even Rodgers makes more than $10 million less than Mahomes. Like, is Mahomes worth that much? And NFL contracts, you can cut them any fucking day if you want to, but it's got a 10-year contract.
And it really is. 10 years is a long time, but it's also, it's got to be a status thing. It really is I'm better than this person. I deserve to be paid more. Like, that was why Crabtree held out. Michael Crabtree was drafted, and he looked at his stats versus, I forget who it was. I don't know if it was like Julio Jones or somebody. He looked at the other receiver who was like level with him coming out of college, and he said, look, I have better numbers than this person. I'm better than this person. You need to pay me like this person got paid. And he wanted to be paid more than the person coming out of college. So,
well, he had to get paid for the that fucking chain Aqib Talib ripped off his neck.
That's true. Well, and he also had to. I remember when I was at work, when I worked at FedEx in the retail store, we printed the blueprints to his house. I mean, it is nuts. This guy had a fucking indoor basketball court, an outdoor basketball court, an indoor pool, and an outdoor pool. Like, it really was like, I mean, he must have been thinking that he was getting Mahomes money at that point. Like, shit, none of this money's ever going away. I'm Michael fucking Crabtree. Like, he was convinced none of that was ever going away. Zach, wacky NFL numbers kind of story here. Did you get a look at greatness? Nathan Weller cheered 245, and he said Tim Tebow can suck my left nut. And that was on Twitch that he said that. So we do have Twitch up. Matty Spice asked where the fuck Big Ben was on that list. 14 million, like way below everyone else. Like, he
deserves less than that.
He has a team-friendly deal because, he probably was on this team when they had Emmanuel Sanders, Antonio Brown.
Matty Spice 04 says Trovo agrees fuck Tim Tebow.
I'm hearing it from Twitch and Trovo. Nobody here likes Tim Tebow.
Well, Big Ben also probably sexually assaulted a staffer in the office, so he's got to take that deal for the team.
They're all allegations. So Dalvin Cook was talking about switching his number in Minnesota, and I didn't know that they would make the players do this, which is actually kind of a smart deal. I wonder why this doesn't happen more often. But Dalvin Cook, number 33, wanted to switch his number. Nathan Jones cheers 45. He says Mac Jones needs Tim Tebow. That might have been a better move if the Patriots went back and got Tim Tebow.
Mac Jones has fucking the best coach of all time. Why would he need Tim Tebow?
And he's got two good tight ends now. And what does he have? Njoku and Hunter Henry? They're going to be fine. Or John Smith. I forget who they got. But Dalvin Cook would have had to pay $1.5 million to buy out all of the already made Dalvin Cook 33 jerseys in Minnesota. I didn't know that was a thing. Do teams do that where they're like, hey, you want to switch your number? That's cool. You just need to buy the rest of your uniforms that are already existing. Like, how come they don't have some sort of insurance policy for these jerseys? Because like I said, I've been one of these people. I was gifted a Clinton Portis Broncos jersey the summer before he got traded to the Redskins. Like, they need to have some sort of jersey insurance, because there's even times where guys, like, remember when Kobe switched to 24? Like, that was all about jersey sales. Like, hey, we want a spike in jersey sales, Kobe. What should we do? I'll switch numbers. And then it was boom. Now people got 8. People got 24. Nathan just cheered.
So I don't want to derail it, though. Who's better, number 8 Kobe or number 24 Kobe?
I would take number 24 Kobe just because he seemed like a man at that point. I do want to say real quick, Nathan Weller just cheered 245 again on Twitch. He said Hunter Henry is a washed-up bum, Vleeties. And he might not be wrong. I had Hunter Henry on fantasy many years in a row, and he would drop 10, 10, 10, 10, and then get hurt for like 6 weeks, and then 10, 10, 10, 4. So, yeah, who knows?
Now he's going to be tight end number 2, only because Tebow's going to be tight end number 1.
That's true. Tebow might be a Patriot before the night is over. Stay tuned, everybody. But, yeah, I liked Kobe 24 because he was like more of an adult at that point, and I felt like with 8, his legacy was with that's like Shaq and Kobe. 34 and 8. Those were the two guys on the court the whole time. dominant. Best player in the league, by the way.
Jump out of the fucking roof.
I'm just saying, Shaquille O'Neal still, like, every time I watch highlights of him, it's like, dude, he's the best. I'm so shocked.
Unstoppable.
I really wish, like, I know that the only, like, real matchup we got for, like, Kobe, or for Shaq and Jordan was that Magic versus the Bulls series, where the Magic beat him that one year, and then the next year Jordan was like, oh, I'm back. I'm going to beat these guys.
Yeah,
like,
fuck you guys.
If there was, we always talk about fantasy warfare, where, Ali versus Tyson. I would love to see that Laker team with Shaq and Kobe take on those Bulls. Nathan Weller, 95 bits this time. He says, Geezy only likes Tim Tebow because he is religious. Tim Tebow is religious, Nathan. He went to church.
No, he's a fucking winner.
He's a winner, that's for sure.
Might as well be from Boston.
He should watch that playoff game where Tim Tebow played the Patriots. Not that one. Don't watch that one.
It aired January 8th,
Just
2012.
Watch the one where he played the Steelers. It's like the greatest moment in sports. I don't know. Everyone talks about how
Jesus was there. He was in the stands.
You think it was like an Angels in the outfield kind of moment, like Tebow's weird arm motion, the ball comes out and an angel grabs the ball and floats it into Demaryius Thomas's hands? Like it was
more like the whole game. Jesus is like, what are you doing? Why do I have to help you so much?
It was divine intervention, my friend. Zach, what do you think about this silly number thing? Like, I'm still not for it. I don't know. Like, it seems like a lot of the football folks that I listen to from Pat McAfee.
You're not for the player getting charged, or you're not for changing the number?
I'm not for the single-digit numbers for everybody. Like,
yeah.
Running backs can wear single digits. I think linebackers, defensive ends, like, everybody can wear a single digit if they want it. It's essentially like I think offensive linemen are like the only ones excluded. Like they got fucked out of this whole thing. Like, oh, I guess not us, huh? What if I wanted to be number 3? So yeah, I don't know. Football's been a certain way for all these years. We had all the numbers figured out already. It was fine. Is this for jersey sales? Is this for I was number 2 in college, I want to wear 2 in the bigs? Like, I don't know. It just I don't know where this comes from.
People get superstitious about their numbers, but being a guy who I played nose guard or inside defensive lineman my entire life, I'm looking at the fucking dirt the whole game. So I don't know why I never needed numbers. I think your argument that Brady said was the best.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, when you're a quarterback, I need to know who the fuck is who. And now you just made it confusing as shit, which maybe is a good thing because offense gets all the fucking benefits. So
True.
Let's give the defense a little help here.
Maybe, hey, that's a good argument for you. That's the best argument I've heard for it. Was like, this is a league where we really baby the passing game. This is a new advantage defenses can use, where the defensive end is number 9, the corner is number 8,
We're gonna hide a fucking cornerback with the linebacker.
The safety is number 7, the linebacker is number 2. Like, you have no idea who is who. Especially if if a deep safety comes up to kind of play, he looks like he's going to play spies. He's stunting. And it's like, is that a linebacker? Is he a corner? What is this guy doing? Like, you got to start learning people's faces. You have to. Is that Buda Baker? I think that's Buda Baker. Okay, I know that's the
safety blitzes.
Yeah,
going to be the new thing.
Yeah,
this year.
dude, it's going to be crazy. So I think that's a really good argument for why the numbers thing had to change. It's like, look, we could go pass interference on every fucking play. Let's give one advantage to the defense. Could we? We've made this league way too offensive.
Because I'm a defense. You don't give a fuck. Where's the ball?
Yeah.
Stop the ball. Tackle the guy with the fucking ball.
Yeah.
I don't care what number he is.
And you're so right. Like as a lineman, yeah, you're looking at the dirt anyway. You're watching the ball. You're listening for the snap count. Like, that's all you're really doing. You don't really care about anyone's number. You're like, is that where the ball is? I'm gonna go get it. Like,
give me the fucking ball.
Yeah. So a lot of it's gonna be, I get what Tom is saying. Where a lot of it probably is just based on numbers, especially if. When you're seeing like the ones, when you're seeing the starters, you know who the starters are. But as soon as that second team defense comes in, you're probably like, who the fuck is this guy? I don't even know who this guy is. He could be a safety, he could be a linebacker, could be a corner. I don't know what.
Brady will probably know that, but like Matty Stafford's not scouting the third team on defense.
Or Jared Goff.
Yeah.
He's my new guy. He's my new
how much
target.
he makes, he probably should be, but
I might draft Jared Goff in fantasy. I think he's going to have a big year. If you're getting paid that much, new team, new coach, it's going to be awesome. I think they lost Kenny Golladay. This is his year, baby. Before we go, Zach, Seaspiracy hit Netflix like a whale hitting a boat. My life has been changed forever. because I lived in California where everybody was so worried about plastic straws, plastic forks, plastic bags. Bring your own totes. I bring my own totes to the grocery store. Before COVID hit, now suddenly nobody wants to touch my totes. So, Zach, this Seaspiracy documentary really opened my eyes to look at the entire world. And this is the same thing when we talk about climate change, when we talk about issues that people think are exclusive to America. We're on a planet with other nations and other countries. So when we have guys that are so focused on America's use of plastic, our best friend Dan Crenshaw, I remember he was the one who taught me America has a trash system. All of that trash you see in the ocean, 90% of it is from China. It's not from America. America has waste management, Republic Services, Athens Services. We have ways to dispose of our garbage. We're not I live real close to a landfill. They don't take all this stuff from the landfill and dump it in the ocean.
We're full today. We're gonna go down to the
we're
going to the bay.
We're going to the Trinity River over there. We're just gonna dump it in the river and we'll figure it out later. Now, I'm not saying that no trash gets into the water. I mean, I drive by. There's a little pond where there's trash over there. That's probably homeless people or teenagers just throwing trash in there.
People being assholes.
Yeah, exactly. But this Seaspiracy really showed me that we're really focusing on the wrong issue here. And much like a lot of Netflix documentaries where it will completely change your entire outlook on the world, I really looked at this. I went into this really not even understanding what it was going to be about. But what caught me was, talking about plastics in the ocean, where it's a whale died from eating, too many plastic bags. But that's one whale, 2 whales, 3 whales dying, right? There are countries that kill 300 whales in an hour. It's one of those things where America's focused and they will shame you and they will cancel you if you still use plastic straws or plastic bags. However, they don't even care that in Norway, that in Japan, that in China, they hunt whales, dolphins, and the commercial fishing industry, how many dolphins they kill trying to catch tuna, trying to catch other animals.
Go on, catch the buzz, feel
an
the
elixir
sting.
bomb from the whole fucking show. Roses stay safe spells. Thank you, Kevin, for joining us.
Catch the buzz, feel the sting.
More elixir bombs from Kev Be Cool. Oh my gosh, so much elixir raining down on me from Kevin. But I didn't even know this term. You know what bycatch is, Zach?
Oh no.
But
it sounds like something I might like.
It was gnar. It's wicked gnar. It really is. Remember how Game Changers made us go vegan for a little bit? This legit made me stop eating seafood. I'm done eating seafood forever. The term bycatch, because when people are trying to catch tuna, when they're trying to catch whatever, any lobsters, crab, shrimp, any seafood that you eat, halibut, cod, bycatch is if they put a big net in the water. And we know that
they catch everything.
They catch every fucking thing. So they'll catch turtles, hammerhead sharks, dolphins, whales. All these extra animals they catch, they're called bycatch. They're the byproduct. It's the secondary thing that they're getting. Now, we don't eat hammerhead sharks. So what do? They just toss it back in the water. And a lot of times, these sharks are dead before they even hit the water. They get pulled out of the water. They're on a boat deck for 10 minutes. And then it takes six dudes to carry these sharks and dump them overboard. And the same with turtles. The same, every animal they showed, it really was this really depressing and really upsetting. This is the problem. You want to tell me that plastic bags are killing whales? This is killing whales right here. Watching a whale get dumped off a ship after laying there for a half hour.
Are these American ships?
Some of them are American. Some of them are American commercial fishing vessels, but most of them, Asia. A lot of them, it was Asia, where it was just that's the market, man. You want to buy a shark fin? You got to go to China. It really, and they have big signs on their store, on their storefronts. No cameras allowed. And I was watching this with Linda, right? And these guys are documentarians. They're walking in with their big ass cameras and shit. And these shop owners are get the fuck out of here. And police officers are coming and taking their camera shit. So I said, why are they walking around with the fucking most conspicuous camera? You need some James Bond shit.
The button camera.
Yeah, well, and so then the next scene they show the guy, he gets a little pen, puts it in his pocket. I'm why didn't you start with that, you fucking idiot?
TWFS says, I don't care if you save one fish. I hope the sea is full of sad and dead sharks.
This is these East Coast people. I've heard Jim say the same thing. I've heard Jim from Jim and them talk about how it's all monsters in the ocean. It's just full of monsters. These East Coasters, they don't give a shit. That's Quahog, Rhode Island. We
They
watch
just eat
Family
lobster
Guy.
all fucking day.
Oh,
They don't
crab
care.
cakes for days. I'm from Boston. Boston Harbor. I go to the harbor. I catch a wicked halibut.
Fucking Boston.
So to them, fuck the ocean. To them, it's a cesspool of food. So they're just fishing it, bro. We're from the West Coast. We need to save this because
we
not
care about straws and shit.
but here's the thing. They even explain it. Saving these sharks, saving these whales will stop climate change. Like the ocean absorbs most of the carbon from the air. And without the ocean, without the coral reef, 90% of the coral reef is dead. Zach, you got to watch the documentary. I've already given you all the spoiler alerts. I'll tell you how it ends. We're fucked. We are fucked.
We're all dead.
I think they even said I like that Lil Dicky did that song, like, we love the earth. It is our place. You remember that song he did where he was like, in 10 years, we're fucked. Well, this documentary says in 30 years, we're fucked. So at least we have more time than Lil Dicky said. So
our kids will figure it out. How about
our kids will save the sharks and shave the whales. This is important. That's the thing, and I love.
They're gonna shave the whales.
We're gonna shave the whales, and I really think when I look at climate change, I don't think it's from my car. Okay, I don't think it's from the Keystone Pipeline. Like, look at this. We're killing the ocean, dude. Most of the world is the ocean. Haven't you even seen Waterworld? Can you imagine?
That'd be fucking dope, man. If you had gills.
Oh, if we had gills, that'd be great. Kevin Costner.
And you had a fucking jar of sand, and it's like gold.
See, we need to save the ocean.
I'll start getting jars now.
Kevin in the chat, all caps. Climate change isn't from anything. I mean, that is kind of true. Like, I still am not on board with climate change, but this is the first movie that was like, if you want to stop climate change, here's what you do. You don't stop making us use oil. You don't stop making us use electricity. You don't make me pay more for a bag of ice, California. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. Like when I went last time I go to California, every time you buy a bottle of water, there's a plastic tax. Everything you do, I can't imagine what the gas prices are there right now.
I pick plastic on purpose now at the grocery store.
Oh,
just because I can.
When they say paper and plastic, I go, which one has handles?
Plastic's fine.
Which one has handles? Like, give me the easy one. And then I go, I brought my totes.
I would take paper, but the fucking handles rip off every fucking time.
I brought my totes. Will you bag them? We're not touching anyone's bags. Well, then no, plastic. Fill my totes. What is this? I brought totes. Totes, you can fit more shit in them. So it's like, just fill these up. You're not going to get COVID from my totes. Like, I think that's 100% proven. You can't
get toes is a real thing.
You can't get COVID from a tote. We all agree with that. So,
even Fauci said that. Can't get it from surfaces.
Zach, I binge watched WWE Tough Enough the other day. Now,
whoa, who is this?
This is Sarah Lee. She won Tough Enough. She won Tough Enough, and I'm watching the show. This was in 2015, and I'm wondering what happened to these people. But not even that. This was like, why is the show not around? A reality show where people are trying to become wrestlers who some of them have never wrestled before. The drama of the women arguing with each other and ratting each other out. Like, I don't feel safe letting her pick me up. She's hurt. She told me she was hurt. I am not wrestling with her today. Like, they think they know everything now because they wrestled for like 3 weeks. This show is so good, Zach. And I'm not. I admit I'm a reality fan. I watch The Bachelor. I watch The Bachelor. I watch Floribama Shore. I watch Jersey Shore. Like, I love these like these cringy reality shows. This is the perfect reality show. It's hot chicks and there's dudes and they're all trying to be wrestlers. And even the women know that they gotta be like scantily clad. They gotta be bodybuilders. They gotta be bikini models. They know, and they're proud bikini models. And
she's got very manly proportions. She's got a real small waist and some big ass shoulders.
She was a professional bodybuilder from Hope.
And a strong jawline.
From Hope, Michigan. And yeah, Gilbert Medina in the chat says she ended up fucking one of the Forgotten Sons. Yes, she did. She, I guess, not even because Steve Cutler, I think, is the one who's with Tiana Perazzo. And then Wesley Blake ends up impregnating this lady and ruined her wrestling career. So, yeah, this is, I wish this show was still around, dude. Like, I really was. Like, I was hooked on it. I couldn't put it down because even Linda was watching it. because it is fun to watch these people try and become wrestlers, obviously, but even more so just the entire way they shot it, the entire way they presented it, giving you that behind-the-scenes look at how to become a wrestler, the coaches they work with, Billy Gunn, Booker T. It was awesome. It was a great reality show, and WWE has always been start and stop with this thing. They did it in like 2001, 2002, 2003, took a hiatus, brought it back in 2011, and that season didn't really work out because and there was some there was some WWE controversies behind that season. This season felt like, okay, we have mastered a reality show. How come this one didn't work? Zach, come on, you and Rebecca would love a fucking reality show, because didn't you watch Total Divas?
Oh, Becca was obsessed.
Like, this show is a better version of Total Divas, because it is like you are seeing them. It's a competition, so it's like MTV's The Challenge. They're competing for a job. Like, I could not put it down. It was 11 episodes on Peacock.
So what was the line when somebody got kicked off?
Oh, Jericho would just he would announce the world is voted, and then the percentages would come up on the screen, and it'll just be like, I wish Jericho would have said, Gabby, you're not tough enough. That's what he should have said, but he goes, Gabby, your journey ends here.
Why are you not a writer on this show?
Yeah, I know. Well, Jericho was kind of a shitty host. I kind of liked how shitty he was, though. I think he was doing it on purpose. Real quick, Fire Fist Ace in the chat says, I love The Bachelor. What did you think of Matt's season? I hated Matt's season of The Bachelor. Like, I watched it, hook, line, and sinker, couldn't put it down. The way it ended, I was so fucking sick, because he was like, she's a racist. I can't even look at her because she likes these pictures. It really was, like, frustrating. But they might get back together. We should do Bachelor Talk one of these nights. I remember when Hogan was a host, and then they gave him the boot and replaced him with The Miz. Yeah, Gino's bringing up when mid-season Hogan is fired from WWE. That's when all the racist comments come out that he said on tape during his porno. So they just had to fire him, and they had to go. They brought in The Miz, and The Miz on like his first show, like Mandy Rose, who's a wrestler now, was nominated like to get eliminated, and he was like, we can't let her go. She's hot. She's so hot. We can't let her go. So he saves her, like he uses his save, and it like kind of fucked up the entire show. But he was right. Mandy Rose is in the WWE. Sonya Deville went home really early on that show. Such a good show. Peacock surprised me because I went on there and I was like, I bet there's nothing on here right now. And I saw Tough Enough and I was like, oh yeah, let's check this out. I could not put this fucking thing down, Zach. This was so addicting. If you don't have Peacock, I would say get it just to watch this fucking season.
Just for that?
Just this one season of Tough Enough. I could, and by the way, WrestleMania Backlash is this Sunday. But what a show. I mean, Zach, please, when you have time, you need to watch this shit.
All right, man, I can commit to it. But I was going to say, like, just probably 2 weeks ago, Becca was like, we haven't watched wrestling in a while. And I was like, oh, fuck. Maybe we got to get the Peacock.
Yeah, dude. Well, this, even lately, like, I just.
My Peacock. Cock.
All the cock. I put on USA Network most of the time. Like, I'll tomorrow night, I watch Dynamite. I just started putting it on the TV. And Linda watches it. I mean, Ralphie likes it. Like, my family has no problem watching it. Like, tonight was one of the better ones. NXT is always a good show to have on. I don't really watch Raw with them because it's so long. It's 3 hours. So they don't need to watch.
Now, give me a Fiend update because my wife loves the Fiend.
Gone. Vanished from television. Vanished from existence.
Really?
The night after WrestleMania, he did like he was in the fun house and he goes, that's the end of this simulation. And, he kind of hinted that he was moving on to something else. Never heard from him again. Alexa Bliss is doing her own version of the Fiend now. She has Lily. She has like a little doll that apparently tells her what to do. And it's terrible. Like, it really, I didn't even like the Fiend. So now they're giving me like this new version of the Fiend and I hate it. You know what it's making me do? It's making me go, where the fuck is Bray Wyatt? Give me the other Fiend back. This one sucks.
I still have my Yowie Wowie fucking Tumblr.
I am waiting for him to come back at this point. Like, I don't know.
How much would you pay to be, Alexa's doll though that tells her what to do?
Oh shit! I'd like to be her eye. I like to be her eye makeup artist because I don't know who the fuck's doing that. Like, she looks so silly. It really is like, oh my gosh, we could be doing so many other things besides this, but this just happens to be what we landed on. So, Zach, let's ride off into the sunset. For those listening on the podcast, we're about to jump into a ton of wrestling. Everybody here live. I mean, we just talked about Tough Enough and The Fiend. And those, you know what? That's enough wrestling. We did it, Zach. That we covered everything we needed to cover. Tough Enough and The Fiend. Tough Enough from 2015 and The Fiend from 5 weeks ago. Those are all the hot button issues surrounding wrestling right now. Thank you so much for listening. No, I will be back. So when I come back, we have plenty to talk about. I watched Main Event. I watched 205 Live. I watched all these shows, Zach, and I felt like they punished me for it. Like, I really was so excited. I watched New Japan. You ever watch New Japan Pro Wrestling?
Man. I've heard you talk about it.
I watched a few matches.
Is that where your boy's from?
Which one?
AJ?
AJ was there for a while, and it was good when he was there. But I have to be honest. I thought what I saw most recently, I did not like. Like, I like the Gorillas of Destiny. I like Tongaloa and Tamatonga. And I watched them fight.
They call Polynesian people the gorillas of anything?
The Gorillas of Destiny. They're the GOD.
In fucking 2021?
They're
Wow.
they're gods of the Bullet Club. So that's why they're GOD. And I love that wrestling nerds still pretend like Bullet Club is the best. Like they're still the best like faction in wrestling. It's like, no, they're not. Can we stop?
Like currently or ever?
Right now, yeah. They're like, right now, this is the best thing going. It's like, I think it's been played out for years. I mean, they just had their like 8-year celebration of the Bullet Club. It's like, it's completely different than what it was. And are that many people jonesing and like still watching it for Bullet Club? I'm not one of them. Like, I have never met one of them. I've never met somebody who's like, oh, thank God Bullet Club's still around. Otherwise, I would have changed the channel months ago. Like, there's no people out there like that. But the matches, the Americans that go to Japan, they're kind of too self-aware for me, where they like don't give a shit. They're like, I'm wrestling in Japan. Like, the spot that annoyed me was this guy named Zack Sabre Jr., little white guy, and he was hitting these European uppercuts on Tongaloa. Tongaloa, by the way, is like a 6'3" jacked Samoan fucker. He's not Samoan, he's Tongan. And he's like charging this Zack Sabre Jr. full speed, and Zack Sabre Jr. hits a European uppercut, right? Just gives him a little shot under the chin. So Tongaloa stumbles back and then just runs forward again. But they move backwards like a couple feet every time. Like, Zack Sabre Jr. is like slowly moving backwards until he gets backed up into the turnbuckle. But it's like there's like 20 European uppercuts, and it's this weird bit of like European uppercut, he stumbles backwards. Then he charges again. European uppercut, he stumbles backwards, charges again. Like, it's the kind of wrestling that Jim Cornette would go, what the fuck is happening? Like, it's the kind of wrestling I was doing that at. It's like, what am I watching? Stop that. I wish Billy Gunn was at ringside going, hey, the fuck are you guys doing in there? Like that, like that's what it felt like to me. It was some of the worst shit I've ever seen. And like I said, I like Tongaloa, but I don't know why he let Zack Sabre Jr. hit him with 20 European uppercuts. And it would look like a cartoon. It would look like
Sonic_Gino says Vleeties is more of a Chaos guy or even United Empire fan.
he is so deep in New Japan. Those are the most New Japan references I ever heard. I even tried to Zach, I was seconds away from subscribing to New Japan World. Like, that's where you get to watch all their shit. It's WWE Network, and it's mostly in Japanese. You just got to figure it out. I was trying to do it on my phone, which is a huge mistake. But it's only $9.17 a month. Like,
oh man.
What a steal, right?
Well, let's do this, man. Let's take a break. I'm available. Let's fucking hang out. You can tell me about wrestling I have no fucking clue about, and I'll react to it.
See, yeah, there's so much to talk about. There is so much wrestling that happened. We will get into it all. Don't go anywhere, people. Chill, lo-fi hip-hop beats free, royalty free, coming right at you, everybody. Probably an ad is about to play before it. Called it, because YouTube sucks, by the way. YouTube is getting greedy with these fucking ads. Everything gets an ad now, dude. Like, I was even listening to a podcast on YouTube that was I'm driving listening to this podcast, constantly getting interrupted by ads. Like, I just don't know how they're so smart with all these ads. It's an insane amount. We'll be right back. What'd you think of that track? Oh, he's frozen. Is he still there? Is he living? It says he's muted. Did I mute him? Or did he mute himself?
I muted myself. I'm fucked.
Oh, good. You're alive.
God, it's the classic 2021. I'm talking. Why is nobody hearing me? I'm muted.
See, that just happens, my friend. We're alive. Fire for Say says, fuck YouTube for taking down Grip Fiend. But YouTube, thank you for having this video on your site right now. We are tri-casting, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Vleeties. We are in the midst of a tri-cast. YouTube.com/RyanVanVleet. Twitch.tv/RealVleeties. The most important one, trovo.live/Vleeties. Kevin on Trovo just cast a stay safe spell. Kevin is the other guy from the whole fucking show. And he's hitting me with all kinds of hype, all kinds of elixir. I'm surprised John Cena hasn't interrupted me yet. But thank you.
What happened to the whole fucking show?
Nobody will ever know. Nobody knows. I even remember there was a Grit Fiend video, like obviously recently, where somebody literally wrote, "I miss weekly TWFS." It's like, this happens every week, every Wednesday night. What do we need to do? Like, we need to start buying.
A better marketing team.
We got to buy ads on Raw. That's the only way people are gonna know. We got to advertise.
Billboards.
We got to advertise with Conrad Thompson. So before, you know what? Let's do that first. Zach, there's a new podcast in town, okay? Because Conrad Thompson, for those who are unaware, really, really heavy-set individual, all right? This guy's big in the community. Like, I watched 1 minute of Dark Side Confidential where he's sitting there at a table, and he's, like, really far away from the table because he's so big. I didn't know he was, like, that big. Like, I thought he was just kind of, he looks pretty big. But, no, he's big, Zach. I mean, this guy's big. And he's doing this podcast, a new podcast with Jeff Jarrett. Now, Jeff Jarrett has had an amazing wrestling career, third generation in the business. He was in WCW. He was in WWF. He created TNA. He's done all these things in the wrestling business. There's so many things that I would ask this guy as well. Like, it's the perfect person to do a Conrad Thompson podcast with, because all Conrad normally does is, Dave Meltzer writes in the Observer. He says this, and there's even a moment on this debut episode with Jeff Jarrett and Conrad Thompson where Conrad says, "Jeff, can you promise me that you're not going to be one of my co-hosts that just runs down Dave Meltzer?" And Jarrett was like, "Look, Meltzer's a journalist. Sometimes he gets things right. Sometimes he gets things wrong. But I have no hate for Dave Meltzer. I've met him a few times. Nice guy. So, okay, the beef is squashed, right? Conrad has made it, Conrad is such a little fanboy for Meltzer. Now, for people that don't know, Dave Meltzer writes the Wrestling Observer. It's like the original dirt sheet, the original what's happening behind the scenes of wrestling. Because as wrestling fans, we don't care what just happens on the television show. We need to know the behind the scenes. We need to know the ongoings. You can credit Dave Meltzer for the existence of Vleeties sitting here on a microphone talking about wrestling. Like, people want to go behind the scenes. They want to get to the dirt. And Dave Meltzer was kind of the first one to do that. Like, since 1983, I think, he was calling people in WWE, trying to get news, calling people in the NWA, trying to get news, like constantly trying to, breaking news. Ric Flair's going to WWF. Like, he's trying to do that kind of shit. So Bruce Pritchard has made it very clear, one of Conrad's other hosts, and just says, no, this Dave Meltzer guy's full of shit all the fucking time. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He's never ran a wrestling organization on his own. So when he gives his 2 cents, it means absolute dog shit. So Conrad hates that because he's given Dave Meltzer $11 a month for the past 20 years. So, I mean, there's no way this guy would ever lie to me or get anything wrong. So Jarrett makes it clear, okay, I will not besmirch the good name of Dave Meltzer. However, Conrad has a podcast with good old JR, Jim Ross. Now, Zach, I'm not sure you're aware, Jim Ross wasn't just the greatest announcer sitting there at ringside with all of the emotion that every wrestling fan at home had. Oh, my God! Like him at ringside obviously was one of the greatest things ever. But behind the scenes, he was in charge of talent, in charge of contracts. And the first episode is it really annoyed me because Conrad he does this thing where whenever Bruce is running down Meltzer, you can hear Conrad do like an audible sigh. He does like a big, like he does that kind of shit. Like he makes it audibly noticeable that he's unhappy with where the conversation's at right now. You know, like, oh, you have to run down my hero. And Jarrett even makes a comment like he's talking about Jim Ross. Now, Jim Ross was responsible for contracts and for talent, and Jeff Jarrett's honest. He goes, look, Vince McMahon brought me in. I wasn't a Jim Ross guy. Jim Ross didn't bring me in, so Jim Ross didn't feel any obligation to keep me there when he took over talent relations and contracts. So my contract was going to expire. His contract expires the day before he's supposed to lose the Intercontinental title to China. So this is a huge moment in wrestling history where Jeff Jarrett is going to lose the title to a woman. We're going to have a female Intercontinental champion for the first time ever. Meanwhile, people pretend the WWF isn't progressive. And they're still mean to women. And so Jarrett kind of tells it like it is. Look, Jim Ross was in charge of my contract. He didn't offer me an extension. And he shortchanged me on several payouts where he worked a house show with Goldust or Dustin Rhodes at the time, and Dustin was making like $50,000 more per show or whatever it was, like more per loop. And Jarrett was like, hey, I'm getting paid 5 digits less than this guy, and we're working together. Why is this happening? And then Jim Ross was like, oh, we're sorry about that, Double J. We'll fix that. We'll fix that up for you. And then he'd give him another check. But this whole story is about Jim Ross kind of being a shady dick to Jeff Jarrett. And the whole time, Conrad's sitting there going, like, you're the one who's asking the questions. You wanted the story, Conrad. Like, Zach, it was one of my favorite things to listen to as far as Jeff Jarrett's telling this amazing story that I was unaware of. Now, how was a company, Zach? Can you have a guy get ready to lose the Intercontinental Championship and not even have him under contract the day he's supposed to lose it?
I don't know, man. That's basic.
There must be a new subscriber. Thank you so much, No Limit Funbo. I appreciate it. Yeah.
You got the goat on the GIF.
How does that work, Zach?
In regular business, I have no fucking clue. Like how, if I didn't have a contract through that day, it'd be like, this is my fucking belt. I'm not gonna come drop it to this chick who's got a dick.
Like, well, yeah, I'm under no legal obligation to even show up here tonight. But so the story really goes, Jeff's not going to get paid so he's no longer under contract. So what he does is he shows up and he says, I'll do this match, but I want my money now. And
you remember when we super kicked you right in the face?
No Limit Thunbo, thank you so much for the follow. He did a sub and then a follow. That's some risky business right there. That's the Jeff Jarrett.
I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah, jeez.
I don't know you could sub without following.
He saw my channel immediately. He's like, we need to subscribe to that shit. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. But yeah, so Jeff, like, he didn't even have to be there. He's not under contract. You're lucky that he's there. And then
Come on, catch the buzz, feel the sting.
Oh, we got a chicken winner from TWFS. Thank you, Kevin. The dabbing chicken lives on in infamy. There he is, dabbing his little heart out. So Jarrett kind of tells it like it is, and Jim Ross, the whole lead up to No Mercy 1999, Jim Ross is trying to get this guy his money. You know, like, okay, we need to get this guy his payout. I think Jarrett even says it. You know, it was they were trying to give him like $150,000, like that was going to be his payout for the full year. And Jarrett's like, the things I've done this year and this show alone, I should be making way more money than that. So Jarrett throws the number 300,000 out there, and now this is where Jarrett probably sullied his relationship with Vince McMahon for the next 10 years, but he wasn't going to go out there and defend that title until he got his $300K. So so Jarrett got his money, and he goes out there and has a good housekeeping match with Chyna. And it just I loved this story. I didn't know that this ever happened. I'm a wrestling fan, and I know a lot of behind the scenes dirt. Never heard this story in my life. But I loved this moment. I loved this story. And it was ruined by the fat man from Alabama going, and Jeff Jarrett even says, because they're on camera, they can see each other like you and I. And he says, Conrad, I could see you getting hot at me. And it's like, yeah, maybe, Conrad, maybe your friend Jim Ross was kind of an asshole when it came to paying people who weren't under contract. Maybe Jeff Jarrett had a very good reason for for being worried about not getting paid. Like, once I'm not under contract, you guys aren't going to pay me for a year. You're not under any obligation to pay me. I want my money up front. I'll drop the belt, and then I'm going to WCW tomorrow. Like it's a kick-ass story from Jeff Jarrett. And I can't imagine any other podcast where someone's mid-storytelling and Joe Rogan just goes, like, Zach, unheard, like useless, right? Annoying.
Yeah, I don't like. I would do the same fucking thing. I was just thinking this week, because housing in Utah is ridiculous. I'm gonna connect this. Don't worry. I was like, fuck. If in like 5 years I could make $300,000 on my house, which is a possibility at this point, I'm gonna go buy a fucking house in the middle of nowhere and not have a mortgage payment and work on a fucking golf course. So if I was this dude, I'd be like, yeah, I want $300,000 because I'm not under contract. I could take this fucking belt with me.
Yep.
I don't need to drop shit. I'm in the driver's seat. Let's go.
Yeah, there was even possibilities of, like, they were even discussing, like, all right, if Jarrett doesn't do the match, we'll just bring in somebody else. But the whole storyline of Jeff Jarrett saying a woman's place is in the kitchen and pretty much being the greatest villain on television at that time, like, and Jim Ross was the one who told Jeff Jarrett, you will never be a main eventer in WWE. Like, we just don't see you as a main eventer. So what does Jarrett do? All right, fuck you. I'll go to WCW and win the world championship like 5 times.
Well, then why'd you give him a belt to begin with?
That's the other argument. And that's a huge problem with WWE in general. Like, if you don't see anything in Ezekiel Jackson, don't give him the Intercontinental title. Like, don't ruin the Intercontinental title by giving it to, you know what? Someone earned it. Like, that's almost like the Sonic Gino argument for why Rich Swann is the Impact World Champion or what. Well, you know, he came back from a career-ending injury, and like, so? Give him a fucking belt? Like, no, we could just hand the belts to everybody. Like, these, even though they are, yes, a prop, they are a prop that should be used to elevate the status of your company. Hey, you should watch SmackDown because Apollo Crews is the Intercontinental Champion. He's a great character. He's great in the ring. But check out our show on Friday night. Roman Reigns.
TWFS says the $300K investment was in China.
Yep.
Silly WWE. Let him walk and take that tiny IC title with him, then bring back the white belt and say Jarrett was SCA.
Yeah, Jarrett was scared of fighting a woman. I don't know why it wouldn't read the whole thing.
Cut off. What
Yeah,
the fuck?
she was over it.
He was
But
a CA.
Kevin brings up an amazing point. Like, yeah, the reason they wanted to make sure Jarrett went out there was because, like I said, they had built that good housekeeping match where Jeff Jarrett had told Chyna a woman's place is in the kitchen, you know, and this whole thing was going to be Chyna overcoming.
You're going to tell that woman her place is in the kitchen?
That's what Jarrett
She'll
did.
Fuck you up.
Jarrett doesn't care. He got a guitar. He's got a guitar.
Rip your dick off.
He
with
didn't
those
care.
forearms.
Jeff Jarrett don't give a shit. So Jeff Jarrett's ready to go out there and, you know, beat her with a mop handle and shit. Like, they had a really funny match. It was a great match. Flower was involved, but Kevin's right. Where, you know, they made sure that this is Chyna's big moment, and Jarrett even says that on the podcast. He's like, you know, I didn't want to ruin this for Chyna. I wanted to go out there and have this match. I just needed to make sure that I got paid because, you know, like I said, no obligation to get paid. So that's why Jarrett had to do it. And that's why WWE was like, give him the money, let him get out there so we can lose to Chyna. Chyna has her big pop, and then Jarrett can go to WCW tomorrow night. Like, it really was a weird time in wrestling where you even look at wrestling now. It's strange when guys leave WWE because, like, when they said Samoa Joe was leaving WWE in April, it was like, dude, this is awesome. Like, I'm so glad he's leaving WWE because of his. Now we got some freedom for this fucking guy. Like, it almost seems like in the Attitude Era, they should have been like clinging for life to these guys. Like, no, don't go work anywhere else, please. It's the same thing now. We don't like. They just let these people go for budget cuts, and then they bring in Eva Marie, and they bring in 2 new cruiserweights on 205 Live.
So where's Samoa Joe going?
We're not even sure. We won't know until July.
Free agent.
Slammiversary, I think, is going to be the big night. I think he's going to show up on Impact at their pay-per-view in front of a live audience. I think that makes sense. A lot of people are saying that he is all Elite Wrestling bound. I'm not so sold on that. There's so many guys there. And you bring in another veteran, it's just like we have Moxley, Kingston, Sting, Christian. There's already too many guys that aren't doing the greatest things that they could be doing. You know, they got Christian hanging out with Team Taz. Like, it's this weird, like, we have Sting hanging out with Darby. And Kenny Omega is this champion where I was all excited to watch Kenny Omega Hangman Page, and I'll get into it later. It's ridiculous, but there's so many things happening in the world of wrestling right now. Let's talk about Dario Cueto. MLW, Major League Wrestling, is on a current hiatus. They just had their season finale last Wednesday. They're not doing any MLW fusions until July 10th, 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, the ECW Arena. However, there was a headline from this week. Dario Cueto from Lucha Underground gets an MLW name because Lucha Underground actually did one thing that was pretty smart, Zach. They took everybody's names. Like if you were a wrestler in MLW, you go in there and you say, okay, my name, or in Lucha Underground rather, and you said, okay, my name is John Morrison, John Hennigan, Johnny Nitro. I have all these other names. They go, okay, we don't want to use any of those. We want to own your name. So your name here is Johnny Mundo, and you can't use that name anywhere else. Like, they took every wrestler's name. Like, it really was. Guys were upset who worked for, like, AAA and, like, the companies in Mexico because there was a guy named King Cuerno. That was his name before he went to Lucha Underground. And then when Lucha Underground wasn't filming, this guy was wrestling as King Cuerno, and they were sending cease and desist. Like, you can't use that name. We own that name. It's like, that was my name before I even got here. Huge lawsuit. Everybody was suing him. Like, a lot of people were really upset at Lucha Underground because it was kind of like this unwritten rule that, hey, this isn't WWE. You can't just own all of our names. And if we're using our names somewhere else, it's our likeness. You don't own us. Especially, but and they, for some guys like Brian Cage, his name in Lucha Underground was just Cage, so he can't go anywhere else and just be Cage. He has to be Brian Cage. So some
Sonic_Gino says Cesar Duran. Also the Hernandez Impact contract issue.
Thank you for the spoiler, Gino. I was building up to Cesar Duran, but you can go ahead and do it. So Dario Cueto's name is now Cesar Duran, and they're saying that it's a combination of Julio Cesar Chavez and Roberto Duran, two boxers coming together. And so he can't be Dario Cueto is pretty much what it is. Lucha Underground owns that name, even though there's no more Lucha Underground, and now Dario Cueto or Cesar Duran is going to be running Azteca Underground. Everything, even though it's clearly a Lucha Underground spinoff or ripoff, they can't even reference. They're still calling where they wrestled the Temple. They're still taking some things from Lucha Underground, but they need to be separate enough to make it matter. So Cesar Duran, I like the name. He's Mexican. This is going to work, Zach. What do you think? Cesar Duran better than Dario Cueto?
No, Dario Cueto's much more authentic.
It does sound awesome.
Cesar Duran is
anyone with the name Dario already has kind of an advantage. It's already a weird name. Like, I remember watching The Challenge. There was a guy named Dario, and I just assumed he was a douchebag. And the only way to go for him was up. So when I saw that he wasn't a total douchebag, I was like, this guy's great. Like, the bar was low. So Dario Cueto, I was like, this guy must be a piece of shit. And then he was a good piece of shit. I was like, this is awesome.
Hey.
So, WWE SummerSlam, Zach, they're making headlines. It looks like this year's SummerSlam is going to be on August 22nd. However, there's rumors of them moving the date up closer. And they're talking about where this event is going to take place. Now, the number one place that I'm hearing is Vegas. I heard that they were going to try and go to Allegiant Stadium, have SummerSlam in Vegas. However, now they're mentioning that it might be an outdoor event. And here's the problem. The rumored places for an outdoor event are Texas and Phoenix, Arizona. So Texas is a whole state. So I don't know what they mean by that. If they want to put it at Ranger Stadium.
It's like a country.
Dude, it's so big. And here's the problem. If you have SummerSlam in August in Texas, I don't think I'm going to go. It's going to be so fucking swampy and hot and miserable. I'm going to be able to smell everyone there. I mean, I'm going to be able to smell Drew McIntyre from wherever I'm sitting. I'm going to smell Sheamus. It's going to be no problem there. It's going to be disgusting. I can't imagine having this event outside. Otis is going to be just wreaking havoc in more ways than one, being in that Texas sun. So they're rumored to have it outside in Texas. That just sounds terrible to me. But this is COVID land, so who knows? Now I'm saying just go to AT&T. You're already going to have WrestleMania there next year. Just if you want to have a place that's spaced out, go to AT&T. You don't need to sell it out. Just do AT&T. But apparently Vince wants to. This is going to be the first event WWE has. And then after this event, no more Thunderdome. The Thunderdome will be dead after SummerSlam. That's at least the rumors and the things that I'm hearing. Because even after WrestleMania, when they went back to the Thunderdome, Zach, I don't know if you know this. Like, they had this WrestleMania in front of 40,000 people, and then you know what they did? Right back into the TV screens, right back into the big Zoom call. Like, that was their big. They had to go back to it in a different venue. What do you think of the Thunderdome?
Man, I'm biased because I came back like during the Thunderdome, maybe a little bit before. The Thunderdome was awesome at the time.
Right.
Now, when I watch a UFC event in Florida with 40,000 people and people are fucking cheering and it's back to normal, it's like, ooh, it is so much fucking better. Every time somebody punches somebody, there's a pop. It's fucking crazy. And it's not, I get it from WWE's point of like, the Thunderdome was great for them because they could control the story, who cheers when. But man, those live crowds are coming back. I don't think you can deny it.
Oh, we need it. Yeah, we definitely need the live crowds back. And when I watch NXT, I watched NXT tonight, a great show on USA tonight, NXT. They have the Capitol Wrestling Center where they have live people there. I don't know if it's other wrestlers or if it is paid attendance, but it really helps out the show having people chant and yell authentically and bang on the glass and just be involved in what's going on. It also helps Dynamite when they in AEW when they have other fans there that are not just wrestlers. It really does help the environment and helps the show. So when I'm watching Thunderdome, yeah, a lot of me has gotten used to that's just what it is. The fake crowd noise does help. Sometimes I'm, just watching it and I forget it's a fake crowd. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I'm in the Thunderdome. So it has worked in a lot of ways. But WWE, Vince, they are ready to get out of that fucking Thunderdome. They want to have people there. And if I can look beyond if I can get a little cryptic, the SummerSlam logo has a big star in the background. All right? Now, I'm not saying that's foreshadowing anything, but, I mean, there's several places here in Dallas you can have this event. You don't need to go to AT&T if you want to have it outside. Globe Life Park, Globe Life Field are both in Arlington. Globe Life Park is open. I mean, that's open ceiling. There's no ceiling on that. That's the old baseball field.
No ceilings?
It's got no ceilings. It's just like Wheezy. It's got no ceilings, and I think that would be a great place for the event. So we'll see what happens there. They want to make that the first event of like, hey, we're back. No more Thunderdome. We are going to have live people everywhere we go. Kevin Scampoli just cast a stay safe spell in the Trovo chat. Thank you so much, Kevin. I'm keeping an eye on the Twitch chat as well. Kevin just says, where's the custom Vleeties elixir spell? It is under review. Trovo saw that it was an Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez gift, and it has been several days of review. I will have to go back in and see if they have an issue with such a polarizing figure as the GIF. So we will see what they have to say about that. We already touched on it a little bit, Zach. I watched a little bit of this New Japan this weekend. New Japan Pro Wrestling, number one. I forget what they call it. Like the king. Oh, it says it on the screen. King of sports. The king of all sports, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Wow, look at all the stay safe spells cast from Zach. Trovo is very safe right now. Thank you so much, Zach.
Very safe.
This is the king of sports, okay?
Did you get your vaccine?
I did not get my vaccine. No vaccines anywhere, and that's what's happening in New Japan. They're having a massive COVID outbreak, Zach, like none other. 7 more wrestlers have tested positive for COVID-19.
Oh, no.
So on May 4th, they were having the Road to Dontaku or whatever it's called. I don't know. The way New Japan names
Star
their
Wars
shows,
Day, they do some shit on
they
that?
were losing their shit. They had 2 wrestlers test positive for COVID, and PCR testing was conducted across the entire roster. 7 wrestlers tested positive. Now they're taking extreme measures. They already canceled their Grand Slam event. Like, the way they name their shows, I have no fucking idea what's going on in this company. Like, I want to watch it. I want to be part of it. But when they name the show Road to Dontaku 1, Road to Dontaku Day 2, Road Day 3, I don't know what that means. Do I watch all these days? Are they all 2-hour events? Like, they need to make every time you watch New Japan, they need to explain it. And right now, it's just Kevin Kelly doing, like, he's in a hotel room in Japan in quarantine doing the commentary for it, and it's terrible. I swear I tried to watch it, and like I said, the wrestling wasn't all that good. So when people are like clamoring I talk to Sonic Gino all the time, and we were excited for some New Japan crossovers in wrestling or in U.S. wrestling. I'm kind of worried. I don't like this shit. I mean, I watched like 2 or 3 hours of this NJPW, and it just left me like, oh no, I'm so glad I don't watch a company where Will Ospreay is my champion. I don't watch a company where Zack Sabre Jr. does 100 European uppercuts, and the guy just keeps coming at him. It was a weird show, Zach. And yeah, so now they're all dealing with this COVID issue. They got 9 guys total have COVID, and they're going to be canceling some shows. So
TWFS said Will Ospreay is a skinny fat ass.
Yes, he is dude. He has the weirdest body, Zach. He's like kind of skinny up top, and then his legs are they're big. Like I don't know what
Massive.
it is. It's all of it goes to his ass.
Wait, what's his name?
His name is Will Ospreay. Have fun spelling that. I don't know how to spell it either. But he is
ASPRE.
He is their champion, and I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't see the appeal. This is a company that had AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura. They had all of these great champions in a row, Kenny Omega. And when I look at their recent kind of line of champions, like after Naito, like Naito, Okada, Tanahashi, these are really good wrestlers in New Japan that when I turn on New Japan, I'm excited to see these guys. Switchblade Jay White, what are we doing? Switchblade Jay White wouldn't even make it in NXT, and here he is as like the NJPW champion. Will Ospreay is like a guy that if he was in Ring of Honor, I would fast forward. Like it's strange that when I turn on NJPW, I remember a time of New Japan Pro Wrestling where they were better than some of the shit I was seeing on Raw. And maybe I was just stupid at the time because now I can't even imagine that. Maybe when AJ left TNA and went to New Japan and I was watching a little bit of New Japan, I was like, okay, you know what? This show's pretty good. And then
it was over.
The Kenny Omega Jericho stuff was great. Kenny Omega versus Okada was way overrated. Dave Meltzer said it was a 6-star match. I thought it was a 2-star. Like it was okay. It wasn't the greatest thing I've ever seen. It wasn't even as good as Lashley and McIntyre on Monday. So I don't know. This company gets this weird respect. I don't know if it's because it's foreign. It's like, you know, it's almost like sexy to watch this. It's like when I watch University of Hawaii football. It's like, dude, this is fucking New Japan wrestling. Way better than that America bullshit. Like maybe that's where people are getting this from. But I watched a few matches. I watched 2 events. I couldn't have been happier to never watch it again. I was shocked, Zach. I thought I was going to like New Japan.
The only reason I ever heard New Japan was when you talked about AJ Styles. So
yeah,
even their logo fucking bugs me because like the N in New Japan is above the N of wrestling. So like,
yeah, it's not even
what
symmetrical.
are they doing here?
I don't know who designed it. It might have been Okada, but yeah, and even Gino in the chat. Kota Ibushi is great. They have great wrestlers. I'm not saying they don't. Fucking Ring of Honor has a couple good wrestlers. Like it's not hard to have a company with some good wrestlers. But when I'm watching the matches,
now what does good mean? They're technically good, or their storyline is good?
I would say all of it. I would say, you know, there's even wrestlers where you can give them, like Okada was in some bullshit 6-man tag, and even him walking out to the ring with his big robe on and just him interacting with the crowd, I was like, this guy's a star. This guy looks awesome. Like I really enjoy this guy. And, you know, he's not in the best storyline at the moment, clearly. I mean, this guy should be fighting for the world title, but since he can't do that tonight, he's in this nonsense 6-man tag. But he still stands out like he is somebody. The same with Naito. The same with, Ibushi. There are guys in New Japan that I like, and even if they're in some crap match, I will check out the match. But then there's other guys, Switchblade Jay White, Will Ospreay, where I'm told these guys are the best this company has to offer. And I'm like, no, they can't be. Please don't make them not be. Like Tanahashi, I really enjoy Tanahashi. And these are, of course, I'm naming like a lot of their natural born Japanese talents, but when I'm watching New Japan, that's what I'm expecting to see. So I don't know. I think a lot of their gaijin right now, a lot of their white dudes, aren't very good. Like I like the Gorillas of Destiny. I think Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa are a great tag team.
Did you learn that from God, why can't I think of the name?
Of what? Is it a
Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift.
Oh, you know what? I do realize that they said that in there. And
that very early on.
Is F9 going to be, is that out already? Is Furious 9 already out?
That's just going to slap.
Is that ready?
It doesn't matter.
Is that ready to drop?
Did Michael Bay direct it?
I haven't watched a movie in a while a new movie. I just watched, speaking of Michael Bay, I just watched Transformers today. That's weird that you said that. Here's the thing. I hate the Transformers movies, right? I've always been steadfast. Like, there's so many glitches and holes in, like, the storyline, and it's so silly. It's cute. But I watched it with my son. Totally changed my perspective of this movie.
He loved that
It's
shit.
a children's movie. It's so good. It's so silly, and the action's great. Like, robots fighting. And I even was sitting there watching it with Linda, and I was filling in the plot holes for her. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm able to fill in the plot holes this time.
I mean, duh, the Allspark, it traveled to Mars and then it came to Earth.
Like,
duh.
and for some reason in my head, like, when I was watching it, I was like, why is Sam Witwicky even a fucking part of this story? And then I'm like, oh, the aliens found his eBay page. They know that he is the grandson of Archibald Witwicky, who found Megatron under the ice. Like, I was plugging in all these things and telling it to Linda. I was like, maybe this movie isn't as shitty as I thought it was, because here I am explaining it scene for scene and why certain plot points were important. Ladies Man 217 was his eBay profile. That's why all the Transformers like, are you Ladies Man 217? Like, you know, it's so clever. And then, I mean, best part of the movie, no shame, Bernie Mac. When he's selling that car, Bobby Bolivia, oh my goodness. Linda's like, it's not even that funny. I was like, it's Bernie Mac, and I miss him.
He's dead.
He's so good.
D-E-D, dead.
He's so good in this movie. I wish he was in New Japan. He's outstanding. Bobby Bolivia, you come to see me, that means we're family. Uncle Bobby, baby. Like, he's just so silly.
We're not going to derail this, but what's the best Shia movie of all time?
The best Shia LaBeouf movie?
Yeah.
I mean, can I say Holes? Because I love Holes. Like, I know
Holes is great. Who doesn't love Holes?
I've seen Holes 100,000 times.
Not the movie. Who doesn't love Holes?
Who doesn't love a good hole? I think I even when I got Disney Plus and we were like, oh, checking all these movies. I think the first thing we watched was Holes. Like, it's an easy movie to throw on and just enjoy. So yeah,
okay, I'll throw it out there. Disturbia.
Oh, Disturbia is outstanding. Like,
slaps.
At the time when everybody was telling me about Transformers and how great that was, I was like, dude, Disturbia is way better than Transformers.
Way better.
Like, I just was shocked that, and maybe it was because people thought it was like a scary movie. I was like, dude, I'm loving this shit. I'm loving that movie. Shia was really good in Fury, and that was after he kind of went insane, so it was kind of cool to see him as an actor again. Now, I think he's a total piece of shit. Like, I got to be honest. Like, people who still like Shia, it's like, are you sure?
Because you're part of cancel culture, that's why.
That's true. Plus, I'm part of Republican, so when I have a guy yelling in people's faces going, he will not divide us, it's like, you're screaming at me. I'm the one trying to get gas. What the hell is this about? It's the oddest thing. So, yeah, an interesting moment from Shia LaBeouf. But yeah, I did see I saw all the Transformers in theaters, except that Marky Mark one. I saw that on Redbox.
What?
I saw that on Redbox many years later.
Okay.
It came out at a time when I don't think I was like interested in those movies, and I don't know. When I got married, going to the movies actually went way down. I don't know why. I know a lot of people.
Wow.
Yeah,
really?
I know a lot of people prefer to go to movies, but with the innovation of Netflix and Hulu, there's really like. It's hard for Lynn and I to agree on let's spend $30 to go see a movie when we can't agree on a movie anyway. Like, I know we've seen movies since then, but I remember Pitch Perfect 3 was like the last one that we kind of like, you know what, let's go to the movies tonight. We're going to have a great time. So we got a lot of wrestling. Let's power through some of this shit. I watched WWE Main Event, Zach. Now, I love that you're here because this will kind of make me explain things a little bit more to the non-wrestling nerd, to the non-Gino, if you will. So, yeah, I know, exactly. The show's usually just for me and Gino, so we're going to have to mix it up. Main Event is it's like this show they record after Monday Night Raw, or before, not even sure when they do it, but it's just a recap show for their main roster shit. Now, it is syndicated. They put it all over the other countries. It airs in like 56 countries, I think. It's on Hulu, but WWE doesn't take it seriously, okay? It's just a way to get some longer matches for some of the talent to see how they react, see how they perform. For the past couple weeks, they've had Mustafa Ali who former leader of Retribution, really good wrestler. I got to be honest. I've been loving his work on Main Event. He's a smaller guy, so he's fighting Ricochet. So we have 2 cruiserweights who are on the main roster, so they no longer challenge for the Cruiserweight Championship. But I really think they need to mix in some Cruiserweight Championship stuff on the main roster to give these guys something to do. Ricochet hit a shooting star press crossbody in this match, Zach. I can't even imagine, like, when I saw it happen, I freaked out. Whoa! Like, I never seen that before. Somebody standing straight up, and the guy from the top rope does a gainer and just destroys the guy who's standing up in a crossbody. It was awesome. It was a great moment. It was like Megatron getting the Allspark shoved into his chest. It was the peak of my life. It was a great match, but and Mustafa Ali, by the way, his nickname on Twitter, he calls himself Main Event Mustafa, because he has had more matches on this Main Event show than anyone else. Like, this show that nobody really watches, it's kind of just a recap show for Raw. Mustafa Ali has had more matches than anyone, and Mustafa lost this outing to our good friend Ricochet. But yeah, so here's the thing with Main Event. Here's the best part of it. It's an hour-long show, right? They show this one match. It's like 11, 12 minutes long. Then they have 20 to 30 minutes of recap from Raw. They just show you every highlight from Raw. Here's what Drew did. Here's what The Miz did. Don't worry. Here's Damian Priest. They show you Raw in a half hour. You know, it's just a commercial for Raw. And then the main event was Jinder Mahal and Jeff Hardy. Now, Zach, do you even know who Jinder Mahal is?
I for sure have heard the name, but I no clue who it is.
So this is a WWE champion, a former WWE champion. He won the title kind of out of nowhere. He didn't even have a match at WrestleMania, and then the next pay-per-view he won the belt. It was a weird real hard push all of a sudden. It was a John Bradshaw Layfield style. Let's just take a guy who's on our show and give him the WWE championship, and he'll figure it out as he goes. Now, I liked his title run at the end. I was kind of on board with Jinder Mahal being this champion. You know, he's got the 1.2 billion people of India behind him, and, you know, he's an Indian guy. So he comes out wearing, you know, he's got the turban on, he takes it off. He's got 2 little guys calling him the modern-day Maharaja, like us Americans even know what the fuck that means. So he's been out of action for 18 months, and he returns on this Main Event show, which was the only reason I watched it. Was it kind of, you know, I think WWE does this every once in a while. They'll do something that's pre-taped, and the wrestling fans who want to see it will go check it out. And I decided, okay, you know, I want to see Jinder Mahal's return. That'll be fun. He's fighting Jeff Hardy. We all know Jeff Hardy. And Mahal shows up. He's got 2 new heavies with him. He's got 2 big Indian motherfuckers with him. Sankey, or not Sankey. I keep calling him Sankey. His name is Shanky. But for some reason, Shanky sounds stupid to me.
It does.
And Sankey sounds less stupid. I don't know why, because Bishop Sankey was a running back for a minute there. Didn't he go to Penn State? So, I remember Bishop Sankey. So, in my head, Sankey is a clear, great name for a wrestling heel. So, Sankey and Vera were they're these 2 big Indian motherfuckers. They're huge. And they're in Mahal's corner. Mahal gets the easy win over Jeff Hardy. I liked seeing my boy Jinder Mahal back in action, my friend. But, Zach, I was punished for watching Main Event. You know why?
Why?
This exact segment, everything I just described to you, Jinder Mahal, big Indian guys, Jeff Hardy, returns, all this shit that I just said, the exact thing happened on Raw. They really punished me for watching Main Event. I felt stupid. Why did I watch this show if you were going to show the exact same thing on Monday Night Raw? And now they used to do this. Wrestling fans for 10 years will know this. When SmackDown was kind of just the throwaway show in 2012, 13, 14, they would have Dolph Ziggler and Randy Orton would main event SmackDown. And then 3 nights later on Raw, it would be the second match. It was just, hey, you didn't watch SmackDown? Don't worry, we're going to do the same exact match, same finish, all the same shit. It's going to come back around on Monday night. Don't you worry about it, fans. That's how I felt, Zach. I was very, very annoyed. I felt like an idiot. But, you know, I get what I deserve. Jinder Mahal's back, excited. I will probably be watching this Main Event show because I feel like somebody has to watch it, and I'm going to be that guy, Zach. Am I punishing myself too much?
I think you are. So what? Tell me the parameters of this show. When does this even air?
This airs on Hulu, and I think it shows up on Hulu on demand on Thursdays. I think that's when it hits Hulu. Apparently, some people are, like in other countries, they have like a set time. Like tune in to BBC to see WWE, Sky Sports 1, like to see Main Event tonight. Like so, some countries gotta like set their DVRs. For me, I just wait for Hulu to pop it on. Peacock doesn't even have this shit for like 3 weeks. So like Peacock's like 3 weeks behind on all their main events. So you gotta watch it on Hulu. So the parameters, it's easy to watch the show because it's 20 minutes long. It just has 25 minutes of commercials for Raw right in the middle of it. Like I don't know who. This show's so forgotten. And like I say all the time, what WWE should be doing is what AEW is doing. They're having too many matches. I accidentally watched a little bit of Dark Elevation today. Like I was working and my YouTube just autoplayed the next video, and it was AEW Dark Elevation, and it was like a 90-minute show, and I was like, oh, what's going on here? And some guy came out with a record of 0-5, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then Shoddy Lee Johnson came out, and I was like, so okay, we got a squash match. Like they put on advertised squash matches every week, and it's just to have wrestling matches, just to put more content out there. And I think WWE would benefit from that, where it's like, instead of having 25 minutes of fucking Raw recap on your show, why not put in 2 more matches or 1 match in there? Like, do something to give somebody else some time, some television time. Like, we haven't seen Biggie. We haven't seen Keith Lee in forever. Give Keith Lee some matches on this main event.
Why would you bury Keith Lee? Come on, man.
I don't know, dude. He's like gone. I'm at the point where I want him to Samoa Joe his way out of Raw. Like, just go somewhere else, buddy. Go to Evolve or wherever he was from before. Even though I think Evolve has a partnership with WWE. So either or. Main event. You know what? Do you know what the problem is, Zach? It's not football season. Once football hits, I won't have time for all this shit. Like, like I'll be watching.
That's exactly the problem. Because like 4 weeks ago, you were like, oh man, maybe I'll watch AEW and maybe I'll watch this. And now it's like, holy shit, I've watched too much wrestling to even talk about it in an entire episode of Vleeties.
Yeah,
we're so backlogged.
Even in an hour, I'm like, shit, it's already 11:10 Central Time. We haven't even touched on SmackDown, 205 Live, Raw, NXT. We got predictions for the shows this week. Let's go to SmackDown. I watched SmackDown. SmackDown had a fun show this week, Zach. They called it a Throwback SmackDown, which meant the graphics were like from the 80s. Which SmackDown wasn't around in the 80s, but the graphics looked awesome. Like I was even like thinking in my head, why don't they just do this? Like it made me realize their graphics kind of suck. The fact that I'm watching this throwback show, I'm like, this show looks great. I love the yellow. Apparently 80s, they were like, let's use yellow for shit. Like yellow, even though NXT is like black and gold, SmackDown with a little yellow in there looked great. Like even watching
yellow and gold are completely different colors.
But even when you watch like old NFL film, and like they just have like, it's not at all
Sonic
like
Gino says ICO Pro.
ICO Pro. Yeah, they showed an ICO Pro commercial. They were like, they were just paying homage to classic WWE, not even just classic SmackDown. They were going back to mid-90s Raw with ICO Pro, and it was a fun night of SmackDown. It made it fun. They were showing classic SmackDown clips. This show just flowed. Like I always talk about how Raw feels like I'm doing homework. SmackDown's so fucking fast. I'm like, oh, is it over already? Like it's constantly. It's a 2-hour show that ends so fast. But I really enjoyed this week's show. Jimmy Uso returned. That was kind of a huge surprise.
What?
Jimmy Uso, Jay's twin brother, is back. But here's the thing: Jimmy ain't gonna be nobody's bitch. Okay? Jimmy is not Jay. He called Jay a bitch. He's like, Jay, we need to win tag belts. Now, if I can write SmackDown real quick. I'm Vleeties from What Culture, and here's how I would write Jimmy Uso's return. Jimmy Uso, or Jay Uso at least, would turn on Jimmy. We keep singles Jay Uso. We keep Roman Reigns. Jimmy won't fall in line. This is the most interesting Jay Uso has ever been in his entire career. Putting him back in the Usos is useless for me right now. I'm getting so much fun, so much entertainment out of Main Event Jay, out of the Tribal Chief. Like I really do feel like I don't want to mess with that, Like I think we got a really good thing going. We don't need any reason. There's no reason whatsoever to put Jimmy with these guys. If anything, it'd be cool to have Jimmy, who is a member of this family, trying to tear, this kind of Samoan dynasty apart. That's what I want to see. I would like to see that. Sonic Gino says, but what if they all had belts? I don't care. I think Jay should go for the Intercontinental belt, if anything. Again, we can't just. We're gonna have Mysterio champions this weekend. So we already got good tag team champions. Let's have Jay go. Jimmy, you don't want to fall in line? Fuck you. You don't know what I went through while you were injured. It just makes sense to me. So really enjoyed this show. One problem I do have is Cesaro is getting his championship match, right? He's getting like his first ever one-on-one world championship match at a pay-per-view, but they're not hyping it up like he has a real chance. Like even with Cesaro coming out and beating the shit out of Roman, Jimmy, and Jay on this SmackDown show, this episode, I just feel like there's, when Shawn won his first championship, when D-Bry won his first championship, they put together these like video packages and they really make you feel like, wow, this is going to be a moment in history. Like Cesaro getting this title match feels like he's just being jobbed out there to Reigns. Like it doesn't feel at all like they're giving Cesaro a chance whatsoever at winning this belt. Otherwise, I think they would be hyping it up a lot more how important this is for Cesaro. Because it really doesn't feel important for Cesaro. It feels like it's a problem for Roman. Like Roman's just kind of being distracted by all this shit that's going on. And flip side, Bianca Belair versus Bayley feels flat as well. Like, is there any chance Bayley beats Bianca? Bianca won the belt at WrestleMania. Here we are a month later. This is her first title defense. It's against Bayley, who she beat on her way to get on like before the Sasha Banks feud. She beat Bayley. So we're like bookending her winning the title with Bayley matches. I don't see any way Bayley's even going to win. They're not even making it believable Bayley's going to win. Like I would have preferred to see even a Carmella rivalry, something Bianca hasn't done yet, would have fit nicely here. I wish Billie Kay was still around. That would work. Like there's so many little pieces that they can put in here, but instead of like this one-on-one match we've already seen before for the belt, I don't see any way Bayley leaves with the title. So kind of two issues, but other than that, the show's outstanding. Everyone vying for that Intercontinental Championship. It reminds me of Impact Wrestling. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. 205 Live, Zach. I watched another wrestling show. This is Cruiserweights. This one will be fast. They debuted two new people today. On Friday. There was this Japanese guy, Zach. He wrestled the entire match in a blazer. Now, he was shirtless. He was in wrestling undies, but he wore a blazer. And he was outstanding. He was hilarious. His name's Ikemen Jiro. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. He was great.
Sound right.
Ari Sterling also debuted. We watched him do a 630 through a table last week. They both won their matches, obviously. However, there's a formula, Zach, on 205 Live, and I don't like when I can notice the formulas, right? It's like Scooby-Doo. Remember Scooby-Doo? Like whoever tells the gang, oh, well, you got to watch out for Minor 49er. What? Who's Minor 49er? Oh, well, he's been haunting these here mines for years. So, like, as soon as the person is, like, warning them about I am this, there's this monster you need to look out for, that person is the monster. They don't, he's the only one who's trying to scare them. He doesn't want to get into Minor 49er outfit, but since these kids aren't scared, we need to scare them before we bust out Minor 49er. So, formula's developing where anyone who's been on 205 Live for more than a year just loses. It's this odd, like, they have this group called the 205 Live OGs with Tony Nese and Arya Daivari.
TWFS says Warriors did it.
Warriors did it! Did Golden State do something tonight, Zach? Did they do it? Did they qualify?
The NBA's in their season right now? I didn't know.
The NBA is dominating right now, right? NBA is living their dream to the fullest. The Warriors did it. The Lakers are obviously like the 1 seed, right? Who's the 1 seed right now? Because I know the Warriors were fighting for the 8th seed. So apparently they squeezed in tonight. Did that just happen? We get some Warrior action, Zach?
If it's not the Lakers, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Well,
the
Dallas
payroll they got.
The Dallas Stars are eliminated. Luka Doncic seems to get a technical foul every fucking game now. Like, I don't know. He just
Dallas
argues
is
a lot.
Eliminated?
I think Dallas is eliminated. I think they had a terrible year. They get a bunch of white dudes, and it doesn't work out. They got all the white guys in the world. They can't win any games.
I'm on your side, man. Luka, do it. Nobody wants European basketball, though.
That's
They're
what
gonna
it
get
is.
fucked.
These Europeans don't know what the fuck they're doing out there. This is an American sport, all right? Still a minute left. Oh, hydrates from a cardio. I just drank some water. Let me drink a little bit more because I am thirsty. Easy drink a whole bottle of whiskey right now, right?
I mean, it's a mini bottle, but
It's almost gone.
essentially, yeah, it's gone.
Essentially, we're at its end. Let's go to Monday Night Raw, Zach. I watched this Monday Night Raw. I watched some of it last night. I watched some of it live, and Kevin's right. When you watch it live, and it goes to commercial break, it actually is okay. When they go, before the break, this happened, or earlier tonight, this happened. Like when you watch it straight through, when you watch like the whole, I think it's 2 hours and 10 minutes in a row, because there's commercials, so they add about 50 minutes of commercials. It kind of helps because, I did, I did see a Tide commercial, a Sonic commercial, a Little Caesars commercial, a Nationwide commercial. I watched maybe 6 or 7 commercials. So maybe I forgot that I was watching a 6-women's tag match before we went to break. So, like sometimes it does kind of work in their favor to remind me what the fuck I just watched. So real quick, I'm going to run down some of the matches that we had. 6-women tag, Charlotte, Nia, and Shayna Baszler. Took on Asuka, Dana, and Mandy Rose. Don't know why these kind of matches keep happening. And I really don't know why Shayna Baszler loses all the fucking time, Zach. It's weird. Now, Lily was on the stage with Alexa Bliss. Now, there's mixed...
I mean, do you want to know the answer to that question?
What's the answer?
Amanda Nunes finished her with a fucking leg kick in UFC.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what happened tonight, or on Raw, where her leg was hurting or something. Now, some people were saying Lily possessed her leg, and that's why she couldn't move. And other people were saying no, they were working on the leg during the match. I don't know what happened. I just know Shayna lost again, and it seems like she loses every fucking week. And she's wrestling twice a week. She's on Raw and SmackDown, and she is constantly getting pinned. I don't know who is doing, I don't know if she made somebody mad, but she is the queen of getting pinned. She's no longer the queen of spades. She is shoulders on the mat majority of the time. Not looking good for her.
When I was watching, she was submitting 2 people at the same time.
Exactly. And Kevin brings up a great point. She's in the doghouse for knocking out Asuka's tooth. I've heard that as well, where she injured Asuka for real weeks before WrestleMania. So it's like, hey, let's just have her get pinned all the time. Thank you, Kevin, for the rose, and thank you for reminding me we had vape commercials all throughout this show. And I've been watching NWA Power again just to watch more wrestling because I can't get enough. They do still have the tackle football don't play tackle football before the age of 14. Like, that's what they keep saying. Like, the longer I play, the longer I can get CTE. Or, you wouldn't let me smoke before ages 14. Why would you let me play tackle football? And I'm like, is that I'm sitting there going, is that the same thing? So,
yeah.
There's lots of kids that play tackle football. Yeah, it is. There's lots of kids that play tackle football. I played before I was 14. I don't have CTE.
I played since I was 7.
Does everyone have CTE and nobody knows it?
I think that's the issue. I think sometimes at work, maybe it's my age. I'm 30 something now. Fuck, why did I walk in this room?
Did Joe Biden play football before he was 14? I mean, and he probably played with a leather helmet, right?
For sure. I mean, he's got a written speech in front of him. Can't remember what he's trying to say.
Dude, that teleprompter does not work. They need to make the letters bigger. I kind of feel bad for him in that regard. I know how small those letters are.
They need larger letters, slower pace.
And he needs, for the pronunciations to be out there as well. His wife's up there going, "Si se padre," like a fucking idiot, like a condescending piece of shit. And it's like, oh, you guys are really setting these folks up for failure. These fucking clones these robots that you put up in front of us.
Lizard people.
Yeah, dude, I'm serious. These reptilian overlords. No joke. Speaking of reptilian overlords, the Viper. Yeah, Randy Orton and Matt Riddle, RK Bro.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Is that happening?
You hate Matt Riddle. He is so great. God. He is so great, and he's with the New Day, who are great. And they teamed up 8-man tag, my least favorite kind of match in wrestling. But this one worked for me. They took on AJ Styles, greatest wrestler ever. He has a goatee now. Omos, Big Omos. He was there as well. Tag team champions AJ and Omos, teaming up with Elias and Jackson Riker. This was fun. I actually had a good time watching this match. Thought it was really well done. Randy Orton got the pin, which is always really important for me when he gets the pin. New Day was silly on the outside with AJ Styles. It looks like AJ is having a great time kind of planning these little moments out with New Day. And guess what, Zach? Randy Orton and Matt Riddle win, right? Randy Orton RKO's Xavier Woods and Kofi after the match. Now, I'm hoping this leads to RK Bro getting some tag titles. But I remembered after these RKOs, AJ and Omos are the tag champs, not New Day. So I think I'm going to have to wait a little bit longer. Are you telling me RK Bro is the tag champs isn't bringing you back to wrestling?
That's going to keep me away from fucking wrestling. You're going to waste Randy Orton in the prime of his career, maybe the twilight, with the fucking Bro? Are you for real?
Their chemistry is so good. You should check it out. It's outstanding stuff. They're doing good shit.
I mean, I'll trust you. You're my number one source for wrestling. But
hey, and you know what? Not everyone agrees on everything because I think The Fiend is bullshit. So, like that's my favorite part is there are some things in wrestling that I love. And I've been honest. I like real guy shit for the most part. It's very rare when somebody comes out with face paint or a fucking goblet. And, I don't get excited. I don't get excited for that shit. Like, my favorite version of The Undertaker is probably American Badass Undertaker because it was like, oh, cool. He's not pretending to be dead anymore. He can talk like a human being. He can just get the microphone and go, shut up and fight. He can cut a promo without making it about zombies and shit. Like, the darkness is a friend of mine. Like, I don't need that shit. It doesn't make any sense to me.
You don't need the eyeliner?
I don't need the eyeliner. And then Gino in the chat says, not Boneyard Taker. That's American Badass Undertaker. I mean, he's talking like himself. You're jealous that my wife does your finisher better than you. Like, he's the best. He can just be a man. It makes sense. He's a human being. Rapid fire, Zach. Sheamus at Humberto Carrillo. Humberto got hurt. It looked really nasty. Apparently he's fine, but it looked pretty bad. They're having a good match. I like Humberto Carrillo. I hope they wrestle at WrestleMania Backlash. Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin, former members of the Hurt Business, two strapping young black men having a match. What annoyed me about this match was how many fucking times the commentators said their full names. Like, Zach, when we're watching football, we're watching any sport. When you're watching Mike Trout, you say Mike Trout maybe once or twice, and then you just say, well, yeah, Trout has been doing really well through the month of April. His swing's looking great. And, yeah, Trout's been working on these things, and, Trout's going to do this. Hey, Brady has been looking great this offseason. He's really refocused himself. He's really studied that playbook inside and out. Bruce Arians has really got him working. Yeah, Arians told us this. Like, you can say the full name once, and now we know who it is. Give us their short names after. These guys were stumbling over themselves trying to say, oh, Cedric Alexander with the big move. Oh, Shelton Benjamin with a counter. Oh, Cedric Alexander does this. Shelton Benjamin does this. Cedric Alexander does this. Like, how come at no point did they go, oh, so here's a big move from Cedric. Oh, here's a big move from Benjamin. Like, why not shorten it up? There was even a moment where one of them said Cedric Benjamin. And I'm like, you guys are confusing yourselves. Stop saying their full names. I don't watch Randy Orton matches and go, Randy Orton does this, Randy Orton does this, Randy Orton does this. Like, vintage Orton. You don't say vintage Randy Orton. Everything Randy Orton. Randy Orton does the suplex. Randy Orton DDT. Like, it just felt so silly. Like, it's a joke. It's almost like Jeff Chang from 21 and Over. Like,
you even said it like it felt so silly. Like,
oh, God. Well, yeah. Like, now I'm going to do that for every wrestling match I watch. Rhea Ripley does this. Rhea Ripley with an armbar. Rhea Ripley with a suplex.
But so silly.
Now, it makes sense when you come back from commercial break or something. You reset things. Yeah. Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre. But, Tom Phillips is actually really good at commentating. Now that I'm dealing with this new Raw announce team, who has guys that I like. I like Corey Graves. I like Byron Saxton. But I don't know if they're trying to help Adnan so much that they suck now. Like, hearing them constantly say Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, it was driving me nuts. It took me out of the match. They had a good match. And I'm sitting there going, why are they talking like this? This is like fucking Gilmore Girls. You don't need to talk like this. It's like Dawson's Creek. You guys are in high school. You don't need to talk like this. I know. I hope Kevin heard the Gilmore Girls line, by the way. So it was a weird. It was a weird segment. It was a good match. Shelton used his old finisher, which I like more than the pay dirt. He should be using that more often. Asuka and Rhea Ripley, they had a match. Asuka did wrestle in the first match, so this was kind of a.
Which one got on top though?
Dude, I hope they're both on top. Rhea Ripley won, so Rhea wins. I think Charlotte. Does Charlotte win the? People are not happy with his new Charlotte Flair, Zach, because she's she's the queen. She's going to be put into the top spot no matter what. She might be winning the belt this Sunday at WrestleMania Backlash, the best 5-syllable pay-per-view name ever. So I'm not sure if they're just setting all this up for Charlotte to pin Asuka, or if Rhea's just going to pin Charlotte, or if Rhea's going to pin Asuka. Either way, Asuka's not getting this belt back, Zach. So
wait, let's rewind a little bit because I got to get caught up.
Sure.
Lacey's just gone now, right? Because she's pregnant.
Pregnant, yeah. You can't wrestle while you're pregnant. Some athletic commission or some shit.
And Ric Flair didn't put it in her, right?
Not Ric Flair's almost been. They like retcon Ric Flair and Charlotte because Charlotte even said she said on Raw. She said my dad even called me to tell me something. I'm like, okay, so you and your dad are on good terms again. Good news, because now that Charlotte's a
So who's Lacey actually having a child with?
With her husband. What do you mean? It's not everything is storyline.
I know that, but who's her fucking husband?
I don't know. Some Johnny come lately. I don't even think he's
some dude.
He's not even a wrestler. He's like in the Marines
some
or
fucking
something.
Wrestling podcast guy.
See. Lacey Evans' husband. Let's see what he looks like. What's his name? Give me everything about him. Oh, he's kind of a nerdy looking guy, actually. I feel bad that I feel bad that I'm looking this up now. He just kind of he gives every man hope. All right, everyone should feel confident now, because she's married to. Is he a UFC fighter? Who's this guy? Alfonso Estrella.
Alfonso Estrella.
I mean, look at this guy. He just looks like a guy. I don't know. Looks plain. Good for him. Is he?
No.
Did he serve?
The picture I'm looking at is rough.
Did he serve or something? How did this guy do this? How did this guy?
You and I are 3 levels above this.
How did this guy slay the dragon? Good for him. Lacey is having a child with this person, child number 2. So good for her. So proud of Alfonso Estrella, and Macy Estrella.
He's winning in life.
Yeah, dude, he did it. All right, good for him. Monday Night Raw ended with Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, WrestleMania rematch. Kind of useless match. It was good. They were fighting, it felt good, and then Strowman came out and fucked everybody up. And it was kind of awesome because, I'm sitting there watching this match. I feel like I've seen this a million times, in the past couple weeks. Just Drew fighting Bobby, announcers being annoying. And then when Strowman came out and started fucking people up again, I was like, where's this guy been at?
So what vehicle did he flip over?
That's what I mean. They need to bring that Braun Strowman back where, hey, let's do something silly for Braun to do backstage where, he's going to, hey, let's bring an airplane down and he,
flip a limo on its side.
I want him to rip a wing off a plane. Let's make him do that kind of
that
silly.
ambulance, it's fucked.
Yeah, I want him to do that stuff again. So this kind of felt like that. He gave Bobby Lashley a power slam through the barricade. He did some pretty kick-ass Braun Strowman shit. So it was awesome. A good way to end Raw. However, go home math. I don't know if this guy's winning the belt, you guys. It's Lashley or McIntyre's belt. I highly doubt that Braun Strowman is going to walk away from WrestleMania Backlash with the title. I kind of think Bobby's going to keep it, but because this rivalry, this whole month has felt really bad. And I think they just need to hit the refresh button and let Lashley keep the belt, and we'll figure out something else for Drew to do for a minute. You notice what they did on SmackDown was Bianca wins the belt, Sasha takes some time off. Because that way when Sasha comes back, it might be a little more believable that she could take the belt back off of Bianca. But having Drew go right back into a thing with Bobby, it was just we just saw this. I know that the whole gimmick of WrestleMania Backlash is that everything that happened at WrestleMania has a backlash, and it's supposed to be built around rematches and unresolved tension from WrestleMania. I get it, but just the fact that Drew lost clean, and then he wins the triple threat match, and it's okay, I'm back. All right, I'm number 1 contender. Hope nobody forgot about me. So it kind of a useless way to bring him back into the fold on that. But either way, that's
so your gut feeling is Bobby retains because I love Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, retains.
Keep him off the mic, but I fucking love Bobby Lashley.
Well, you'll get sick of MVP talking backstage if you watch enough Raw. So, Bobby keeps the belt. That's my unofficial prediction for now. Because tomorrow night, the whole effing show.
Come on.
The whole effing show. I will make the official predictions will happen immediately following Dynamite with Kevin tomorrow. And we even have TNA's Under Siege this weekend as well. I'll be in California, so I don't get to watch anything again. This is the second time I'm going to California, and TNA is having a pay-per-view. Like, what is happening? Do they wait for me to leave?
You go to California every other week now?
I guess so. Well, I have a graduation to go to. So I recanted the
graduation and a bachelor party.
Yeah, well, I'm not staying for the bachelor party. I feel terrible, but I just can't go to Vegas right now.
I feel terrible.
I would love to go to this Vegas thing, but life's in the way, you know.
I tried. I had to cancel a $700 trip where I didn't get a refund on my $300 flight.
See, you didn't even get a refund on the flight?
No, Delta. There's no all flights. There's no refunds.
You got to get that insurance. Book third party.
Use it again.
Book third party. Get insurance.
I did through Trovo.
Trovo? Trivago?
Sure.
Let's go to NXT, Zach. We're almost done. We're almost on the go home. We're almost on the. We got a few more things. We got NXT.
TWFS said Trovo.
Book your trip.
Sonic_Gino says Frankie Drip in ring debut in 2 weeks. Also in your house will be on June 13th with Todd Pettingle.
That's a long ways away. I didn't realize it was over a month away. June 13th.
Dude, you can't skip over Kevin. He cast a flight
spell on Trovo. Give me a flight. I need to get to Vegas. Round trip, please, only.
It didn't work.
No, you're here. You're still in Utah, my friend. So
Utah.
I watched NXT on USA Network tonight.
How'd it go?
You know what? It went pretty well. There was a moment where I took Ralphie on a bike ride, and I have Verizon, right? You know, Verizon, the world's largest network, blah, blah, blah. You can't watch fucking TV on a walk, I'll tell you that. You know, sometimes I can watch wrestling anywhere and everywhere. I can watch wrestling. And for some reason, I get in the car. I get out with Ralph today on the bike, and I can't get USA app to work. I can't get Watch Wrestling to work. I can't get Watch Pro Wrestling to work. Like, all of these ways to watch wrestling suddenly no longer work. And then my wife sends me a picture message, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, what's this picture message? Verizon can't even download the fucking picture. It just says downloading, and it's like this little wheel slowly getting filled up, like slowly. So I almost called Verizon, but I think the call wouldn't have went through. So I missed like 20 minutes of this show. And of course, what do I miss? The match I wanted to see. I wanted to see Raquel Gonzalez, Mercedes Martinez. I caught like the last 10 minutes of it. But the show opens, Zach, with Karrion Kross versus Austin Theory. Karrion Kross is the NXT champion. He's bald. He's pretty buff, and he's got a hot wife with him. I don't even know if they're married. He's got Scarlett with him. She's like a goth character with huge breasts. She's great.
ScarJo?
Yeah,
Black Widow?
ScarJo is an ideology, not a person. So
I don't know what you're talking
about. Karrion Kross, and I wrote this down. Is he a good world champion? Now, here's what I mean by that, Zach. I watch NXT. The NXT champions are always really good in-ring wrestlers, like really good 5-star matches from the Johnny Garganos to the Tommaso Ciampas to the Aleister Blacks, Andrade, Finn Balor, Adam Cole. All these guys are like cruiserweights that can have really, really good in-ring matches. I don't think Karrion Kross fits that bill, like, at all. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, it finally hit me tonight when I saw this guy come out into the ring. I just thought, what are we doing? How is this guy the champion? And so I have here, he doesn't come off as a good, like, in-ring technician as the prior champions do. So then I even write, like, is he a babyface or a heel? Like, once again, I'm watching this. Like, Zach, I grew up in wrestling needs to have good guy, bad guy. That's how you're telling your basic storylines. NXT seems to be going for, like, a UFC kind of vibe where, like, there's this gray area. Because even later in the night, we have Raquel Gonzalez versus Mercedes Martinez, 2 heels fighting each other. So we had like 2 heel versus heel matches where even if it's heel versus heel, all the wrestlers have moments of being the babyface, having a big comeback in the match, trying to get the heel off of him. It's odd. Like, it really does feel like NXT's trying to blur that line of here's a good guy, here's a bad guy. Like, Kyle O'Reilly, even as Cool Kyle, does kind of heelish shit when he's in the ring. Like, he looks like a bad guy a lot of the times. So, what do you have a preference, Zach? You're not even a full-time wrestling fan. Would you rather have like a UFC where, hey, look, everyone's just there. I'll decide for myself who's a good guy, who's a bad guy, who I like. You know, in our heads, we already know. I like Max Holloway. I don't like Volkanovski, so I'm going to root for Holloway. Like, we're allowed to do that with the UFC. Do you think wrestling can make that transition?
I don't know if they should. Like, the whole point, the best part of wrestling is they're telling a fucking story. It's sports entertainment. It's not just sports.
Well,
I mean,
New Japan.
How did you feel about Stone Cold? Was Stone Cold a good guy or a bad guy?
Well, see, when he was a good guy because he was fighting the most evil villain in the company, Vince McMahon, and that's why it worked so well. Like, if you just had Austin without a foil, it really is like, is he a bad guy? What's he doing? Like, he's constantly driving vehicles into the ring and
the good guy, fucking sprayed people with milk hoses. They drank beers every match. He's the anti-hero.
And that's kind of and you can have an anti-hero when you have that ultra villain like a McMahon. Karrion Kross in my head is a villain. He's got a hot ass chick with him every match. She's wearing really tight leather. She's got really gorgeous breasts.
That's just haterade.
She's
jealous.
She's got a great face. I mean,
doesn't make him a villain. You're just jealous.
But that Jim Cornette says, "Got a hot chick, he's a heel." Like, that's just logic. You bring a hot chick with you, guys are jealous. Guys want to boo you. We don't want this fucking guy around us at all.
Triple H was a heel with the ugly ass chick.
Well, but she was also a heel.
China.
Well, yeah, maybe any female.
The China virus.
As a guy, anytime you see a female out there, you're like, boo! This is a man's sport. That's what they were trying to fix.
She looked like a man though.
MSK, the Must See Kids, the Stoner Boys, they had a match against Breezango. This was a pretty fun match, Zach. There's this little Indian referee. And when I say...
Is the Stoner Boys where Riddle came from?
No, that's not even connected at all. That's actually funny that you... Because,
wow.
So I found out Shotzi Blackheart, by the way. She was on Tough Enough for a little bit. I found out she used to wrestle in California. Her name was like Miss High as Fuck. Like, that was her name. Like Mrs. High as Fuck or something like that. Because
that's not going to work in the big
She's
leagues.
also a stoner wrestler. Yeah, she shows up and her name is Ashley when she gets to WWE.
Does she kick off her sandals?
Now she's Shotzi Blackheart.
Prove to me honor is
Sonic Gino just gave $2.
Honor is real.
He sent me a YouTube video. I don't even have the Streamlabs donations open.
That's not going to happen.
We're going to have to see. Prove to me.
There's no Gino YouTube videos tonight.
Dude, well, who knows? See, we're also
everybody's got to go to sleep.
We're also streaming live on YouTube. So there is a worry in my head that we can't play too much copywritten content. Because the folks at YouTube, the folks at Google have me on a short leash because we've already said, I think you just literally said China virus. And that's all it takes sometimes for them to shut down a YouTube channel. Even one with 200 followers like mine. I need to get 1,000 followers, I guess. I guess that's like the limit. That's the line that you need to get to be able to have super chats and shit. So I need to like cut clips, make videos one day, dude. But not today. Today's not that day. I got the video from Gino here. I hope it's not anything from Raw Talk, because I hate Raw Talk, Zach. I don't know if you know what Raw Talk is, but it's terrible.
Hello?
Peacock commercial.
TWFS says Vleeties is live every Wednesday on TonyKhanKilledBrodyLee.com.
Whoa! Is that Kevin's new domain, that Tony Khan killed Brody Lee? That's pretty good shit. I do have this pulled up, Gino. We can watch this in a sec. We can find a way to watch it for 10 seconds and then stop it. But Oni Lorcan hanging out with Pete Dunne. I love this guy. Oni Lorcan, by the way, looks like... Now, I watched some YouTube matches of his with Biff Busick. He was Biff Busick. Great name for a wrestler.
Biff Busick.
What a name, right? Now his name's Oni Lorcan. He's the king of
Back to the Future.
He's the king of having a stupid name. So yeah, Oni Lorcan now in NXT. He dresses like Stone Cold. He's American. He's from Boston. They're not using this guy correctly enough, right, Zach? This guy could be somebody way better than he is right now. I like that I saw him hanging out with Pete Dunne. I think that's still a good little unit to keep him and Dunne hanging around. They were in that group with Pat McAfee. That makes sense. Let's see. Yeah, and I took Ralphie on a bike ride. Didn't realize Verizon decided not to work, so I missed the first half of the women's match. When I got home, Mercedes Martinez hit a gnarly neckbreaker on Raquel Gonzalez. Raquel Gonzalez is 6 foot tall. You can't teach that. She's super hot in my opinion. She's if we're gonna judge bodies, sure, she's a little flat chested, but I just love her face. I can't describe it, Zach. I love everything about her. She flexes her back, and I'm in. So she has a match with Mercedes Martinez. Mercedes Martinez, in her 40s, maybe late 30s, kind of in the twilight of her wrestling career. She never wrestled in WWE. She finally shows up in like a Mae Young Classic, and everybody was like popped, like holy shit. I think she showed up in a Royal Rumble, and people were like, no way, Mercedes Martinez is finally in WWE. She's just kind of here now. She's not going to win any titles, and she lost this match tonight. But what a match! Like Raquel Gonzalez, this women's division on NXT is so good, Zach. Like we make fun of women's wrestling on every other brand. This is so good. It's so outstanding. Again, heel versus heel. Both women showed signs of being a babyface. At the end of the match, like the crowd kind of doesn't know what to do. So it's just kind of a fun. It feels like a real fight environment when you have these matches with no babyface or no heel. So now here's what Gino sent us, Zach. He sent us Isaiah Swerve Scott. He has a new little faction. Now, Isaiah Swerve Scott is a sleeper of a wrestler. I really enjoy. I took notice of him at NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. He was in a gauntlet match where you thought there was no way he was going to win it. He made it.
They're wearing a gauntlet like on their hand?
He was wearing a gauntlet like Thanos.
The Infinity Stones?
He had the Infinity Stones. He's also a rapper. And he's debuted like kind of this new gimmick where he's a rapper. He has an entourage. And it works. Now, here's the thing. I even hear like they have like their own Jade Cargill now in NXT. Do you know who Jade Cargill is, Zach?
Of course, but if you want to explain it to me, I'd be down.
That'd be great. Jade Cargill is a buff, super in shape black chick. Very good in the ring, great on the mic. We can't get enough of her. We don't like AEW sometimes when we don't get enough Jade Cargill. But
give me a preview here. Let's go.
Here, let's take a look at the new Jade Cargill. Her name is
because I can't ever trust Vleeties' judgment.
Brianna Brandy.
Different taste.
Do you want to see? Oh, do you want me to bring up Jade Cargill real quick? Let's bring up.
Sure.
Jade Cargill. She's great. I don't know how you don't even.
Can she get it?
She can get it. Oh, hands down. She thinks she already has a kid, but she can still get it.
If she wants more, she can get them from Brian Van
Let's take a look at what's her name? Bianca Brandy or whatever her name is.
Swerve is disrespectful.
Swerve.
Very.
This part was kind of annoying. Like, here.
You're talking about the girl with the white hair?
So here's Jade Cargill on the screen right now. Bikini pics, buff pics. She just looks great.
That's a dude.
Beautiful face, beautiful body. Soon to be All Elite Wrestling Women's Champion. So
yeah, this is why you and I have completely opposite tastes.
Wait, I married a woman of color, all right? We all know how it all ended up. So this guy right here, this big dude with like the bucket hat on. But by the way, Zach, there's this guy at my gym who works out in a bucket hat.
Bucket hats slap, bro.
At the gym?
Anywhere they slap.
Oh my gosh!
If somebody's wearing a bucket hat, their confidence level is 10,000.
It must be the highest because he looks like an idiot. He looks like if I told a blind person to draw an asshole, they would draw the guy in the bucket hat. Like it's the most ridiculous look I've ever seen. When you show up to the gym wearing like a cut off shirt, basketball shorts, Jordans, and a bucket hat. I'm like, are you just the walking picture of a douchebag? Like, I mean, it literally.
You're not wrong.
Like, it's just the most ridiculous look I've ever seen in my life. Like, I'm okay.
But like, if you're in Florida, like the bucket hat goes hard.
Kevin just gifted us up. JT is now a subscriber. He can now do ! TTS and let me know about his favorite bucket hat moment. But this guy in the bucket hat in the ring, I'm okay with. He's like, he's got a vest on. He's already wearing the vest. He's already looking kind of douchey. He's wearing a shirt that says something ridiculous. I don't remember what it says. But this little group, they're pretty cute, Zach.
Swerve is a dangerous man.
Swerve is dangerous.
That's the way Swerve's been thinking.
I think this chick's so hot. You don't think this chick's hot? I was watching this with my tongue hanging out of her.
Balor just come out and wreck all these fucking people.
That's the best part of NXT is when that happens, when Finn Balor shows up.
Let the demon come out. Just fucking ruin it.
I need more B-Fab. I don't like that she's hanging out with these dudes. We need more of her as the singles.
Put her with Finn.
I'm excited to see this faction, though. I like Isaiah Swerve Scott. Like I said, he had a great line, by the way, that it wasn't in that clip, but when he was walking out to the ring, he was like, "It's about to get spooky up in here." Like he said some weird thing. Like I was just like, "What is he talking about? Like spooky? What are they, monster? Are they coming out in costumes?" Like it was
like Casper the Ghost.
Like Casper the Ghost, bro. It was really awkward. And then also on the show, Cameron Grimes and Ted DiBiase had another fun segment. Really enjoyed that. Main event, 2 out of 3 falls match, Cruiserweight Championship on the line. Kushida not losing that belt anytime soon. Now, here's my favorite thing about this match, Zach. Like the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks even, I think, every segment with Santos Escobar has been terrible. Like the ratings have been terrible. Like people stop watching when Santos Escobar gets in that ring, right? And they've been main eventing with this guy. They're presenting this Cruiserweight title like it's a main event title, so sure, let's do that. Let's put that out there. And however, Gino's saying that I forgot Oni Lorcan versus whoever. No, I remembered it. I saw it. Yeah, he's saying Pete versus Leon Ruff, Pete Dunne, and then Oni versus Kyle. Oh, that's right. I didn't write down the Oni Kyle one. I remember the Pete Leon one. Cool Kyle sucks, everybody. I was a little annoyed by he doesn't look in shape. Can I be the 100th person to make that comment? Cool Kyle comes out wearing blue undies and blue boots, and like it almost looks like he has cellulite, Zach. It was just weird. I just felt awkward watching this guy. Bobby Fish.
Cellulite on a man.
Yeah, and then Bobby Fish came out, his old tag team partner, and was like, "Hey, Kyle, I know you got your own shit going on. I got my own shit going on. I'll see you around, buddy." It was kind of a weird moment. Like, Bobby Fish came out to make the save, but he was unappreciated in his efforts. It just makes sense to just have Oni and Pete have a rivalry with Bobby and Kyle anyway. Like, I don't see what any 4 of them have nothing going on. Let's keep them all paired up. And as far as the other match, the Pete versus Leon match, squash matches, we're good. Pete won. We all get it. But the main event was okay. It was good. I was watching it here as we were setting up, and I liked it. But again, like I said to you before we started, 2 out of 3 falls matches kind of suck when the first fall, the challenger gets the fall. Because now the challenger can just say, "Hey, look, I would have been the champion." So I don't think this rivalry's over by any stretch. So I think we're going to get more from Kushida and Santos Escobar. And I'm serious. I think we need to move on. This Cruiserweight division, we need to bring in guys like Mustafa Ali and Ricochet and Buddy Murphy, these guys that are on the main roster who aren't doing anything. They would benefit from challenging for this championship. And I don't know why we don't see more of that. I don't know why 205 Live isn't like some sort of oasis where everyone can go and fight for the Cruiserweight title, Zach.
It seems like to me Ricochet is on another level if you're just talking about those guys.
True.
Like Mustafa's there, but Ricochet will go 15 feet off the fucking top rope and do work.
And I would like to see him be used a little bit more, but that's why I think that Cruiserweight title means a little bit more on that main roster. They need it. Like the reason it worked in WCW was it kind of opened all the shows. It was like this unwritten rule and agreement that, hey, the Cruiserweights are going to have a really good match to get the fucking thing going. Like I remember, I think it was Road Wild 96 or some useless pay-per-view. It opened with like Rey Mysterio and Ultimo Dragon. They had a great little like 15-minute match, and then I remember the rest of the show sucked. But it was like it opened like on fire, Cruiserweight title. Guys want to fight for it. Rey Mysterio, Ultimo Dragon, classic matchup. Like that Mustafa Ali Ricochet feud could be for a Cruiserweight title. And I remember they had the Cruiserweight title on Raw, and they didn't really do anything with it. They didn't know what to do. They just put them in the cut segments from Hulu Raw. So I don't know where they came from with that. But Bobby Fish is back. That's pretty cool. I'm interested to see what he's going to do. I miss Roderick Strong. I miss Adam Cole. It's like Undisputed Era broke up, and all we got left was Kyle O'Reilly who's slowly getting bigger and bigger in the gut area. So Zach, we're almost done. Let's make our predictions for tomorrow night and Thursday night's events.
Let's fucking do it.
I'm going to get your takes on these as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Impact Wrestling will emanate from the Impact Wrestling Studios on Thursday. So, and I know it's already recorded. They recorded all these matches like 3 weeks ago. So, Sami Callihan, Chris Bay, and Moose. These are the 3 heels that have qualified for the 6-man match at Under Siege. They're taking on the good guys for the match at Under Siege. Matt Cardona, formerly Zack Ryder. Trey Miguel, who's dating Alicia Atout. What an accomplishment. And Chris Sabin, member of the Motor City Machine Guns. Moose, by the way, big black dude, should be the champion already, not the champion for some reason. Chris Bay kind of reminds me of Isaiah Swerve Scott, awesome wrestler. Sami Callihan could be great, kind of got fat when he left WWE. Hardcore deathmatch wrestler. Dyes his hair so black it sucks. And when he gets knocked out, Zach, or when he gets like laid out in the ring, it really frustrates me because he fixes his vest. Like he knows he's fat, so he's like, "Oh, I don't want my gut to hang out of my vest. I gotta pull it down." Like,
my gut to hang out of my vest.
I'm knocked out, but I can still fix my vest. I don't want to be seen on TV with my gut hanging out. So yeah, that really annoys me. We're building towards Under Siege now. My theory is Moose needs to fight Kenny Omega at whether it's against all odds or Slammiversary. However, Moose is rumored to be done with the company in June. So there's a strong possibility that he does not even win this match at Under Siege because he's leaving. Now, Kenny could defend the title in June and Moose wins the belt. That makes total sense. Or Moose is going to leave and go to AEW and be a full-timer over there. Or he's going to go to WWE. Maybe they've expressed interest in him as well. So who knows?
So are these names backwards where Callahan's all the way on the left, Bay is in the middle?
Yep.
Moose is the big black dude.
Yep. Bald, big black dude. Yep.
But then on the other side, Sabin is the dude who has chest hair down to his groin.
No, Sabin is the dude on the far
all the
right.
way in with the fucking pistol in his hand?
Yeah, Motor City Machine Guns, bro.
Holy shit.
Beer guns. He's holding up that pistol, my friend. He is Chris Sabin. He is a former Impact Wrestling champion, all right? This match has 2 former Impact Wrestling champions, all right? And they're both on the ends. So they're both kind of the forgotten ones in the graphic. Just bookend it with former champions. Everyone else in the middle, whatever. Moose is kind of a former TNA World Champion, but they just recognize that title to appease him. So, yeah, Moose is the strong black man in the middle here, and I think he's going to win this match on Impact because I think one of these baby faces is going to win the match at Under Siege.
Yeah, I agree. The left-hand side team, I know it's very specific, but they look like they're going to take it hard.
Go home math for me. I need to have heels win tonight, and then I can have my baby faces win at the pay-per-view. So, and we'll see. I don't know if I'm picking Sabin, Miguel, or Cardona, who, has a lot of body hair for this picture. He really decided to go all out on that body hair. I'd say shave that tummy. Yeah. Shave that tummy, oil up the gut, my friend. Oil it up, show off your six-pack.
It looks oiled up with the hair is the problem.
That's weird.
It's like stuck to him.
Machine Gun Carl Anderson, one half of the Good Brothers. He's bald. He's going to have Doc Gallows in his corner, and he's going to have AEW and Impact champion Kenny Omega. So this is, Zach, they're building this rivalry up. The Good Brothers lost their tag team titles to Finn Juice. Now, I know that's the worst name of a tag team I've ever said in my life. David Finlay, the son of Fit Finlay, the Fighting Irishman, and Juice Robinson. Juice Robinson sucks. Don't worry about him. No need to describe him. So they're going to be – they've been doing like trading off one-on-one matches and just kind of getting us ready for the next time we finally get to see the Good Brothers get their championship rematch because they lost their rematch for no reason at Rebellion. So Carl Anderson, another win over – he's going to beat David Finlay because this is the singles nonsense. Kenny Omega's involved. This is the perfect opportunity to have Carl Anderson get another win because these guys need to win these fucking belts back. They look so stupid without him, Zach.
I 1,000% agree. I see Kenny in the background with his belt. So what belt is this for?
So Carl Anderson. So if you look at Finlay on our right, he's got a belt around his waist. It says the Impact Tag Team titles. So David Finlay and Juice Robinson, the guy.
Wait, he's got the Impact Tag Team titles. They're one-on-one wrestling for the tag team.
No. There's no. This is a non-title affair, right? You're going to see that title on the line, probably at Against All Odds or at Slammiversary. Somewhere there will be a title match, but this is a one-on-one. That's why it's useless. We just want to see the tag team titles on the line every week.
I'm just going Carl Anderson because he's wearing a beer ski fucking hat.
He's got his beer ski hat on. That's their gimmick. They always say ski. They're cute. They're fun. Let's move on because we have Havoc. She's a big lady, my friend. She's big in the community. She's from Defiance, Ohio. Cool-ass name for a town. She lost her tag team partner, Nevaeh, and now she's on her own. Havoc and Nevaeh was a great team, but Nevaeh had to leave because her husband got let go. Oh, my husband. Oh, I'm going to leave. So Havoc is now left without a tag team partner, and she's going to be fighting Rosemary, who I cannot stand. Rosemary, named after like Rosemary's Baby. She's like a demonic character. She paints her face. She's crazy. She's wacky. She's terrible. However,
I have many problems with this picture.
However, Rosemary's going to win. Rosemary is going to win. She's going to beat Havoc because people see something in Rosemary that I have not seen in my 5 years of being exposed to her. What are you thinking, Zach? Is it Havoc? Based on size, Havoc wins. Based on wit and cheating and green mist, Rosemary's going to win.
So I'm just upset with Havoc's fucking photoshopped mask on her side of the picture. Man, Rosemary, I don't disagree. Looks like she'll do work, but man, it's odd. I just thought of in middle school, there was this magazine where Havoc was just, it was like the Maxim of like hardcore shit. So I'm down with Havoc. But that it's just that Photoshop fucking mask that's killing me.
It doesn't look good, but she can get it done in the ring. I like Havoc. I think
any of them can get it. Let's just put that.
They can use her a lot better in Impact. She can be the top of their women's division. She's lost a lot of weight, in my opinion, since I last saw her. Not last saw her, when I first saw her. Like when she was first coming in Impact, I was kind of on my way out of watching Impact back in like 2014, 15. And I just thought, like, all right, whatever. They want to get a Nia Jax or somebody bigger.
She lost a lot of weight in 6 years?
Yeah, so much, dude. So much progress. She looks great now. I want her to win, but Rosemary's going to win. They like Rosemary. Rosemary's going to cheat to win, and they're going to be like, well, she's still a good guy. Terrible. X Division Scramble match. I am pumped up for this one, Zach. And I don't know who any of these fucking guys are. But Petey Williams, Maple Leaf Muscle, the Canadian Destroyer, the guy on the far left, for everyone watching along on Twitch or Trovo or YouTube. El Phantasmo from New Japan. He sucks. This guy sucks, Zach. He literally just mimics other people from New Japan. He comes out doing the Shinsuke Nakamura hand motion. He does the Styles Clash as like a finishing move. He sucks. He has a loaded boot. Like his gimmick is he has like a rock in his boot. So at one point in the match, he'll start shaking his boot to get the rock to go to like his toe, and he'll do a super kick. He sucks. I don't know. I don't get the appeal at all.
So what is this visual? I'm looking at 7 guys on the screen.
Yeah, the scary dude in the far
fucking free for all.
Yeah, so the scary dude in the far back is just he's the manager of Ace Austin. So all these 6 guys are going to be competing for a shot at the X Division Championship. TJP, one of my favorites, he sent me a cameo. Ace Austin, one of my favorites, he sent me a cameo. AC Romero, I cannot stand him. I don't know how he's still here. He seemed like one of those guys they signed because he was making some waves on the indies, but I thought he wouldn't last very long. I thought for sure.
Is he the guy with the shutter shades with the spikes on top?
No, that's El Phantasmo. That guy sucks.
Oh, no.
Don't worry about El Phantasmo. He's the worst. Rohit Raju, he's pretty awesome. Rohit Raju is going to be in this match as well. I'm sure Shiro is going to be involved. As far as someone getting a title shot at Under Siege, I know they're really excited about El Phantasmo being in their company since he's an NJPW guy. So I'm assuming he's going to get the big win here just so they can have him versus Alexander at Under Siege, and maybe that'll get some more subscribers to Impact Plus. Because Impact Plus, Zach, is like their WWE network. That's their Peacock. It's $2 cheaper. and you get one event a month, just like WWE.
Yeah, but Peacock's got much more on there.
Dude, it's got Despicable Me on there. It's great.
My Peacock, cock.
It's got it all on there. Who do you think's gonna win, Zach? The Canadian, the guy who works in Japan, the Indian guy, Ace Austin with purple hair, thinks he's Gambit, AC Romero, 400 pounds for some reason fighting in the X Division, or TJP from Los Angeles?
I'm going to go the Ace dude with the card in his mouth just because he's in the front of the promo.
Dude, and he gives people a paper cut with that card.
It's just
awesome.
Marketing.
Yeah, marketing-wise.
You know I got these scars.
You got to give it to him. Let's run through AEW real quick. This is the finale, everybody. Get your popcorn out. Put it away. The Young Bucks, tag team champions against SCU. If they lose, they break up. So I'm picking the Young Bucks. A lot of people are already predicting some sort of a schmoz, where like
Are they from India? What's with those headbands?
They are from Rancho Cucamonga, and I swear that's where they're from. They're just the worst. And you know, whatever. That's Kyle Jackson in the middle there. Do you remember when we super kicked you right in the face? Like, that's him. We saw him here, okay? So the Young Bucks clearly, you know, they're heel tag team. They're a heel tag team now. They're just annoying. They're over the top, and for me, it's go away heat. Like, I love Kazarian and Daniels. The only reason I'm gonna watch this shit. The Young Bucks with their headbands are so silly because they even talked about, like, when they turn heel, we're gonna get rid of the tassels. No, they just move the tassels from their boots to their headbands. They look fucking stupid. However, I think that Daniels is past the wrestling part of his career. I think he's going to lose this match, and I think it's going to allow Kazarian to move on to other things in AEW. So this will be a good match, so I'm excited to see it. What do you think, Zach? Does Rancho Cucamonga beat the guys SoCal Uncensored this whole match in Southern California?
Absolutely not. The SCU is not fucking around in this picture.
They look dead serious. Christopher Daniels, arms crossed, is ready to roll. Our girl, Jade Cargill, your favorite, super hot. She's going to have an interview with Tony Schiavone. I'm hoping that we get to see her because it feels like she had a big debut with Shaquille O'Neal, and she had a match with Red Velvet, and it's been like a month, and they don't really know what to do with her. They teased about giving her a manager, even though she clearly doesn't need a manager. So I'm not sure what their idea is on what they're going to do with her, but they need to figure out something. So we're going to see an interview with Tony Schiavone tomorrow night. The coronation.
The idea is get rid of her because she's repulsive.
So good, so hot. Can't wait. Most exciting female.
She's got more muscles than you and me put together.
And that's a good thing because she's a wrestler. The Pinnacle has their coronation ceremony tomorrow. Kind of annoying, kind of stupid. They can come out and cut more promos.
Retaliacion says Cargill is just eye candy.
No, she's not. She's a great in-ring tactician.
I don't want to keep dragging.
She's an outstanding in-ring tactician, everybody. But we will see.
Titian.
Yeah, tactician. She's going to be great. Nobody needs to worry about that.
Totally fake.
Let's see. Click here to reload player. Oh, it looks like the video. I don't even know what that means. I tried to go into my Twitch. I'm not sure if it's working right now. Trovo seems to still be on, which is fine. That's all that matters, right? So let's take another look. Let's go to the next thing. This is annoying, Zach. You don't watch this show. I watch it. This is stupid. Why would you have a number one contender in Hangman Page for like 2 months, and then he loses one match? He never got copyrights your channel. Uh-oh.
Oh, no. We're canceled?
Gino. You have one copyright strike on your channel. This is my Twitch channel. So, yeah, it looks like the NXT video got us stricken from Twitch. That didn't take long at all. They were real quick to fucking hop on that.
I was going to ask the over-under, and I thought I was going to go YouTube over Twitch.
I thought so. Hey, I haven't even checked YouTube. Maybe YouTube is just as bad.
We've been dead for
Yeah,
hours.
we haven't even been on there. I mean, it could be. No, we're still live on YouTube. So, yeah, YouTube seems to be working just bad.
We've been dead.
So, yeah, that's interesting, though, that...
fucking Gino.
Yeah, well, that Twitch was just so quick to fucking throw the hammer down. Unless that's from another time, but I don't know why the Twitch channel, I don't know why that one would not be working right now.
Because we got banned.
Yeah, we got banned. So yeah, Twitch might be dead forever.
Fucking shit.
Although we got bits tonight. That's what's frustrating. We got bits, we got follows on Twitch. Like, that's what's frustrating is like, yeah, I would like to leave Twitch, but people are still coming. So Orange Cassidy versus Pac. This match is frustrating because, yeah, it should be Hangman Page, but hey, we got a pay-per-view coming up. Let's completely ignore that one guy was number one for so long and just put these fucking guys.
Did they move to like a UFC ranking system, like number one versus number two?
They're trying to do that. Like, they say they're doing that, but they're not doing that. Like, it's weird. Like,
it's popular opinion.
Like, they're saying that they're doing that. Like, they really are trying to make it seem like, oh, when you win matches, you move up in the rankings, and like that's what they believe they're doing. But here's the problem: when you have a number one contender for 6 or 7 weeks, what's the point of being number one contender? Like, you should be in line to get a title match at some point, right? Like, that's what you would think would happen if you're the champion for this long. You should absolutely be getting a championship match at some point. So I don't know why that didn't work out for Hangman Page. He didn't get his title match ever. So yeah, I thought it was a little weird. And then the same thing with the women's division. They'll have a female be number one contender for weeks, and they'll have Hikaru Shida has only wrestled 3 times this year, and they have women that have to wrestle 12 times to become the number one contender. Like, it's just weird the way that they've set up their ranking system. SCU has been number one contenders for like months as well, and they had a fatal 4-way match to see who was going to be the number one contender tonight or tomorrow night. It's stupid.
You gotta fucking earn it.
Yeah, it's weird. I think that Orange Cassidy beats Pac. They kind of teased it. Orange Cassidy's a fun wrestler. Just have him come out and lose to Kenny Omega on pay-per-view. I think that makes sense. Or do some sort of...
he's the number one contender. He's not the champion.
No, he's number one contender, which means he's number one in the rankings. And
see, even in UFC, like they don't go number one versus number two. It's like 3 versus 7. You got to mix it up.
Well, and even with this one, it is kind of annoying. Like I didn't realize these guys were 1 and 2. Like, you know, because Hangman Page was 1 for so long, and then it felt like Brian Cage was right behind him as well. So they had these guys that were 1 and 2, and then I got to nowhere. It was like, nope, those guys are not 1 and 2. These are the new 1 and 2. Like, right before the pay-per-view. It's weird. So,
well, did Orange Cassidy? He's number 1. Did he have a chance against the champion, or they're just fucking him before he ever gets a chance?
Yeah, they're fucking him. He has to beat Pac. So one more match, even though you're already number 1, you have to take one more match, and then you can get your shot at the champion. So yeah, it is a little bass backwards the way they set the whole thing up. Like, I'm not sure why that's the way that they do it. So I wonder if my Twitch channel got shut down. I'm still trying to like figure it out, like why it stopped. Like, it makes no sense.
I keep clicking it and I get video download was canceled.
Yeah.
Please try again.
Like, I'm just going through. You're
banned.
Did I get an email?
It's over. It's all done.
Yeah. Did I get an email from Twitch, like saying, "Hey, by the way,
shows you're live.
Your Twitch account." I mean, I logged in successfully. Like, that worked out. So, but yeah, it says I'm live, but for some reason the stream just isn't going through for some reason. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening, but I want to just keep figuring it out while we're live, because I have no idea. I got a new subscriber on YouTube, which is always cool, but I don't know why Twitch is not working anymore. Like, that's the odd one to me, because it even says that it's working on.
It shows like the live time is still counting. It shows 3 hours and 16 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
But the live stream is just dead.
It's just gone. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working. Maybe it's a Twitch issue.
Silence the truth.
We're live on everything else. Orange Cassidy wins. I don't give a fuck. I hate that match. Miro wins the TNT Championship from Darby.
No fucking way, bro.
Miro's a big fucking hoss.
Is Darby from Boston?
Darby's from Seattle. He's a fucking emo kid.
Oh, it's kind of close, but not.
He comes out to fucking Danzig music. Not even Danzig. He comes out
don't talk shit about Danzig.
He comes out to Social Distortion is what he comes out to. He's terrible.
Totally different.
Miro wins the belt. Can't wait. Darby has been the champion. He's been having matches in the main event every week. putting the women down.
Apostle? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's like Sting's. They're both hooligans. They're friends. They're hooligans. So, yeah. Quickly says, don't put Social Distortion down like that. I was jamming to Social Distortion today. That's the only reason they were in my head.
Compared to fucking Danzig.
Take away this ball and chain. I was rocking out hard. They got some bangers. They're like Danzig. They both have 5 good songs. Let's move on to the next one. You're like, oh, I just burned him.
Move on. Let's just skip over that one.
Jon Moxley defends the IWGP, the International Wrestling Grand Prix United States Heavyweight Championship against.
What does that even mean, bro?
I don't know. I don't know what it means. Yuji Nagata from New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is a New Japan Pro Wrestling match, Zach. It's on TNT. It's on.
I like this promo altogether. Like, this looks like a good match.
These guys look like they're gonna fucking go for it.
Jon Moxley's a little crazy. The other guy, he's confident. He's Japanese, and he's about to do fucking work.
It's gonna be a fucking barn burner. But Jon Moxley's gonna keep his belt. Jon Moxley's like he is the perfect United States heavyweight champion for New Japan, unless they're trying to get out of their relationship with All Elite Wrestling and just put that belt on Yuji. But I think Moxley keeps the belt. Some of their promos leading up to this have been pretty good. Like on YouTube, I watched one and I was like, all right, I'll check this match out. But I think Moxley's going to beat Yuji Nagata. I think there's no question that that we need to see Jon Moxley win this. It quickly brings up a great point. Yuji Nagata, that'll put the butts in the seats. Yeah, right. Nobody's traveling to Daly's place to watch Yuji Nagata win. They're just watching Moxley successful title defense.
I 1000% agree. I don't know either of these guys, but looking at him, that's just crazy to look on Jon Moxley. It's like, I'm not giving this fucking belt up. I don't give a fuck who you are. We beat you in World War II. Why would you ever beat me?
Yeah, never. World War II. Yeah, I'm sure that's all. I'm sure that's all they brought up in the promo. Was World War II.
Talking about the Midway. Whatever.
All Elite Wrestling will be in Texas, July 21st. I might be going to this, Zach. It does say tickets start at $30, which seems really fucking greedy to me. I better not go, and they make me watch the first hour on a television screen, and then they have the main event in a double cage. Like, I don't want to see any of that shit. They better do it. They better do it right. So I'm hoping that that's what we get. We get we get a good. You get a full show because they record Dark Elevation and all that other shit as well. So the show starts early. I mean, they say it starts at 6 p.m. So it'll probably end at 10 or 11. So I'm gonna get a lot of wrestling in my system that night. So I'm excited. I'll probably be there, Zach. No Fusion news. That means you and I, my friend, we are done. We did it. Marathon stream. 3 hours. Twitch quit. Let me refresh it and just see if it changed. No, did it change?
It's not refreshing.
Still there. I mean, I wonder why it's not working. I want you to tell me why in internet. Like, where did it?
I don't have to tell you. Fuck them.
Where did it tell me about? Because it did say something about copyrights on my channel, and I was like, did you? But it doesn't say that it shut my channel down. Like, it doesn't say that. So I don't know why Twitch is the only one that's having fucking issues here. Like, if anything, they should be on board. Video producer notice.
If YouTube is live and Twitch is not, you got a problem.
I know, that's what I mean. Like, they're saying copyrights. Where are the copyright issues on my channel? Like, it doesn't say it. Like, if my video is shut down for copyright, I would like you to tell me where it happened. Because I've had my channel, I mean, obviously when the AEW thing happened, unless this is what they're telling me that it's from, is it from the AEW time? Because that was forever ago. So maybe that's what it means, because it's even showing up on this one too. So I'm not seeing this big issue. I'm not seeing what happened, and maybe just Twitch is just a piece of shit. It didn't work. So either way, Zach, I think we covered it all, my friend. I'm exhausted. It's way past my bedtime. So I will be back tomorrow for the whole fucking show with Kevin Scampoli. We got to talk Dynamite. We got to talk WrestleMania Backlash. Worst name for a pay-per-view ever. Got to talk WrestleMania Backlash. And then, Zach, you and I, we're back on Thursday. We are back on Thursday, my friend. We're going to talk some more NFL. Hopefully there's some developments in the Aaron Rodgers case, in the Deshaun Watson case. Hopefully we get some answers, because, yeah, it really feels like all that shit dropped, and it's been quiet ever since. So we need some news. I know it's only May, but I'm ready for football.
That's the only thing going on, bro.
Yeah.
There's fucking baseball. There's basketball. There's everything. There's women's lacrosse. I could give a fuck until the NFL comes back on. We need real games. We need real people we care about. We need the team sports. We need shit going on.
Oh, Chris Cross just hit me with 2 stay safes. I love baseball, but, the Angels are being the Angels again. They're starting to fall apart. They get rid of Albert Pujols, and then everyone's sad. Oh, we lost Albert.
Have you ever seen somebody waste the best player in your sports career ever versus the Angels and Mike Trout?
Yeah, well, Mike Trout, yeah, exactly. And this is another example of highest paid player. Mike Trout's great, but
He's the GOAT.
I would like to trade him if we can win a World Series. I'm at that point because they're not going to win one with him. It's
I don't
over.
disagree, but do you not agree that he's the fucking GOAT?
Oh,
he's ridiculous.
He's the best. He's so good. That month of April was insane. So we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll talk some baseball this Thursday. Maybe we'll talk some pucks. Maddie Spice finished a hockey quiz, so we always have that in our back pocket.
Let's do it.
This Thursday, Impact Wrestling results, Under Siege predictions as well. We have 2 events coming up. I'm making Backlash predictions with Kevin tomorrow night. Plenty going on. Let's ride off into that glorious sunset. I still don't see why Twitch isn't working. I have no idea why. I'll never find out. They're never going to tell me. This would have been a great stream to have on Twitch the entire time. JT is going to be live streaming in about an hour or so. He is in the divisional series on the show. This is huge. JT, bring it home for us. Bring home the money, my friend, because sure as hell that we need it. So let's vibe out. Let's get out of here, Zach. Time to go. Have a good night, everybody.
Burke's Outlet.
Oh my
the
God!
Place to find everything you need for your
serious?
home at up to 70% off other stores.
All right, now we're chilling again. You serious, you two? That's why I hate this shit.
Where's the lo-fi, bro?
I wonder why Twitch.
Is the video on this? Are you on YouTube playing this?
I'm on YouTube right now. Yeah.
So is this the lo-fi where like Homer's?
Yeah, this is
super high driving the car.
This is the Homer one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, slaps.
But why did Twitch shut down?
Twitch is done.
Maybe I need to re-log into it. I mean, it just makes no sense. Like, it makes no sense.
What happened, brah?
I don't know. We'll never know. But I liked being on Twitch because, yeah, we got bits from there. There was subs happening there. I got all the chats set up on OBS so I could see everything. Although I don't think I had.
It did all work. Notifications will both work.
You know what? I didn't have my activity feed. Or I did have it up. Yeah, it's right here.
Catch the buzz. Feel
a
the
chicken winner from Quigley. A last-minute elixir bomb coming in. Chicken winner. Thank you so much, Quigley. We'll have to see. Yeah, it says error number 1000. What does that mean? Let's search that. Let's search.
Error 1000.
Yeah, Twitch. Error 1000. Like, what does that even mean? What is your name?
Nathan Whala.
Deleting Twitch cookies. As it turns out, most of the time Twitch just means okay. So maybe I just need to relink it to restream. Twitch cookies. Corrupted Twitch cookie, as it turns out, most documented cases, the problem ends up being related to a cookies issue. If this scenario is applicable, you can delete Twitch cookies, sweep your browser. All right, maybe that's all it is.
Fuck it.
And then it does say update Google Chrome, which I don't use. I'm using Edge right now, which is updated. And then it says the other possible issue is. What was the other one? Had a third one. Resetting your browser, Google Chrome. See, I don't use Google Chrome, so I shouldn't have all these unnecessary issues. This is hogwash. but I can delete some cookies. I think that'll work, Zach.
Well, we'll see on fucking Thursday.
You ready for bed?
No, but yeah, we'll go shishi-bai.
Let's do it. All right, Zach, you have a good night, my friend. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Later, bros.
Peace and love. Let's get out of here. Let's move on to the beyond. Clearing the cookies as we speak.